things are really tough for everybody at the moment in business, or tough for, for working people that are tough. And I say that, and I don't mean that in a derogatory fashion. I'm talking about people who draw a wage, go home, the rank and file, I think it used to be called, the people who have made this country great. It's tough for everybody, every level.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Talkin Shop. Today we're back at Tru7 with Mr. Tru7 himself, Guy Nicholls. Please make sure to like, comment and subscribe and let us know who you want on Talkin Shop next.
There's two bands. The people at the bottom of the ladder, let's call it that, and I'm not trying to be... There's people who generally are unemployed or have mental health. Not fucking 2 million people in this country got mental health. That's absolute bullshit. That's the new bad bag. And then you've got people at the top ladder who don't pay tax because they're too clever or they're overseas. That's the bit in the middle. People like us, farmers, people on the other guy you interviewed, Paul Fox, and shopkeepers. They don't want to spend all the tax because they're not big enough to move abroad or to have money offshore. I don't have money offshore. We pay tax in the UK. It's as simple as that.
Well, they've got family here and
Exactly.
Yeah, but I loved it, didn't they? They did come out, Kiss Hour, and did come out and sort of say, if you don't like it, leave.
Yeah, and the door is open.
Yeah.
I saw it again this week. What a fucking statement that was. Don't go on.
The door is open.
And I know a chap, he came to see me from Lloyd's Private Banking. He asked to come and see us. Spoke to our CFO upstairs, and Barclays, and Barclays Business Bank locally were trying to do something with us. So he said, why don't you come together? Because I want you're going to get 10 minutes ago, time, so not interested in all this. And he's a lovely old boy about my age. And I said, how are you doing? He said, well, this was September last year. He said, we have lost over half our private banking customers. What that means, private bankers, is they invest your money for you. That's what private banking means. It's a joke. It's not good. Money creates money.
Yeah.
What are you going to earn out of somebody who's on the dole?
Well, unfortunately, if we've got no money, we're not going to be making any money anymore, Britain, are we? So... No. And we're selling everything off as well, aren't we? Well, everything's long sold off.
This not zero thing is the biggest load of bollocks. It will go down as the biggest load of bollocks in history.
Well, especially for the UK, because it makes... We don't even make the slightest dent on global emissions.
And you know what? There's infinite amounts of oil, infinite amount of...
Exactly. And the modern engines are so fucking clean.
You could touch
pathetic.
Touch the inside of a diesel exhaust and it's clean.
Honestly. But even I was watching a lot of YouTube nowadays because the BBC is so left-wing, clearly left-wing, and the ITV is not that far behind. And they were saying that the EU is split. There was a headline, from the grab picture that makes you watch it. And now the EU, Hungary in the EU, but they still haven't had the gas from Russia. So now their heating bills, their cost of manufacturers dropped out of the sky compared with Western Europe. And all we've done with all this net zero is price has killed industry in this country. I'm very friendly with a chap who was a senior design director at Jaguar Land Rover. He now works for an Indian company that makes 5 million motorcycles a year. They make all BMW bikes under 450cc. And he was saying they've got a big design studio they bought in Bologna. This private Indian family, very good, nice people, very pro business. And he was saying they are just inundated every single day with senior designers and senior people out of Volkswagen Group, Mercedes, because they're losing their jobs hand over fist. All we've done is give it on a plate to China.
That's it. Pretty much.
Go make a battery.
And the other thing is bullshit as well. This Dave Miliband, that's energy is a world price. Oil's a world price. Gas is a localised price. It's all about the cost of moving it. It's a third of our price in America to what it is here.
And we've got the North Sea there as well.
And we're paying Norwegians.
Like
them wealthier. And it's like, well, you can't write this. Me picking a fag up from underneath this desk. Or no, I'm not doing that. And I'm paying you 3 times the price for the same cigarette you picked up. Isn't that funny to fucking see?
And it's in your back garden.
Honestly, it's pathetic. Just making it impossible to earn money.
Pretty much. Well, that was going to be one of our questions for today, to be honest, which was how does anybody now build a business? Entrepreneurship in the UK is dead.
They've killed it. And I went to a reform rally a week ago Monday at Sabashogan. There's a big new building they put up about 15 years ago. Lovely venue, 900 people in there. They had 300 people more turn up. They had to do another one for 300 people in the building next door to it. But I tell you what, they talk so much fucking sense, it's ridiculous. Nigel Farage was there. Robert Jenrick, the bloke and he said, I know I've been accused of jumping from the Conservatives to Reform, so it looks like they'll win. I've jumped because I'm fed up with the bullshit of the Conservative Party. They drove this country into the ground. Boris did. Let 3.5 million fucking immigrants in while he was in power.
Yeah.
That kept quite quiet. And you know what, the Labour just added to it and made it 10 times worse.
Yeah. Yep.
I think we need a major change.
Yeah,
Big
honestly.
time.
Big shake up.
And if the lefty's getting in 2 years' time or whenever I am definitely packing up and moving abroad.
Yeah.
Because there's lawless in this country now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There was one of our customers again. They had a van broken into, all their stuff nicked. You know, you go to the police. There's nothing they're going to do about it. And if you don't like it, the door's open.
Well, exactly that. But it was published this week that 92% of burglaries go unresolved.
Yeah.
I got robbed at my home on last Saturday of November, 6:30 on a Saturday tea time, while we were in the fucking house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the police headquarters, that roundabout.
Yeah.
It's 4 minutes from where I live.
Yeah.
It took 45 minutes for this overweight WVC to turn up.
Yeah. Do you know?
It's pathetic.
Sometimes they don't even send a car round now for a burglary or a car theft.
Do you know what a friend of mine? Well, not a friend of mine. She's a friend of mine. She cuts my hair and she said, on a nice private estate near the speedway track over there, her daughter lives there, and their neighbour phoned the police. There's somebody trying to get over my fence. Nothing to do with us. That's a civil matter.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, I know. Yes, we've just had Mark McCann on the podcast, which he does these like documentary style YouTube videos, and he followed basically a tracking company that were going to find a Range Rover that had been stolen.
Like an independent.
Who's that? Mark
McCann.
Yeah. I know Mark.
Yeah.
Through motocross.
That's it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It was. He did this recovery on this Range Rover. It was found in a garage in Birmingham somewhere. Got a tracker on it. Phoned the police. They come to they didn't want to come and fight because it was out of the stolen.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They weren't bothered about.
It's not our jurisdiction. Yeah, sort of thing.
That's it. So you'll have to call Leicestershire Police.
Yeah.
Leicestershire Police didn't want anything to do with it because the car was in now in Birmingham.
And do you know, I've got nothing against the police.
Yeah.
No.
I'm very
Just underfunded.
Yeah. Underfunded.
Understaffed,
and
underfunded.
The military, look, as we know how bad we've been shown up to be with our military capability.
Yeah. We always say, like, it feels like just a normal middle class, working class, upper class family in the UK now.
But
they're now like centre right.
Yeah.
If you're normal, you're right. It's that's how politics has gone now. But then what's happened is the Tory party's come left. Yeah. And they're sort of like now it's same. You know, there's 6 or 2 3s between Labour and Tory now. There's no difference.
Yeah.
Other European countries have cut the tax on fuel to help people in Europe. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to help the poorest households, which means they're going to give all the people on benefits some money to pay the bills.
To heating. Yeah.
Not anybody who goes to work.
No.
4% there yesterday was it the day before?
Yeah.
Benefits all went up 4%.
Yeah, brilliant.
We can give our blokes 4%, we go skiing.
Yeah, meanwhile, whilst we have no money to spend. I agree with you. I think the next election for the next 20, 30 years is going to be the sort of the make or break on which way the UK
getting
goes.
the country's finished.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say to you. Sorry, I forget I'm old. Every night now, watch Jacob Rees-Mogg. He does a 10-minute video every night. And you're like, he's about as far right as you can get. Fuck me, does that man talk some sense? Even Jake watches them every night now.
Yeah.
And my missus, don't turn it down, I'm cooking the tea, wait until I'm finished.
Yeah.
Oh, watch that.
Yeah.
He just talks so much sense.
Yeah. Not many of those out there anymore, but anyway, we won't go too far into politics.
No, we go by the whole thing.
Yeah, because
there mustn't be like an advert for the company either, because I did a corporate video. Our man Mark, I don't know if you've met him.
Yes, just spoke to him on the phone.
He did one, asked me to do one about 3 months ago, and he said, I'll send you some questions. I said, no, you fucking won't. You ask me a question, I'll answer it.
Yeah, it. Yeah.
So I don't listen, if we can, not just to be another
No.
We tried that when the podcast was first, when we first launched the podcast, it was to really like promote and make people aware about our products. And pretty much the feedback we got was, all right, enough about how good you are. Yeah. Enough about fucking how good you are.
Just so I think it just needs to be about reality.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
Ask me whatever you want.
Yeah, straight into it then. Yeah.
Give us, for people who don't know you then, Guy, who anybody's catching up on this podcast, give us an intro to who you are and what you do. And who Tru7 are.
I'm just a nobody, really, from Ipswich. I work with my father, who's a hard taskmaster. Unfortunately, he was. And just worked all my life worked with him. He died, unfortunately, 29 years ago, the 17th of this month, 17th of April, 97. My life changed then dramatically. Never got over it. I've got used to it. Just, brought up to work and be right and be honourable, pay your way. That's it. I'm not saying I'm trying to sit and be a hero. That's exactly how I was brought up to be, and just work. We sold a rental business 10.5 years ago and started again in this yard 10.5 years ago.
Yeah. What you've built, by the way. We love coming here because what a place.
Well, I really appreciate that. But the whole thing for us, and people can draw their own conclusions. We have to make a profit, but that's not all about money. It's about being the best at what we do.
Yeah.
I've said to Jake, my son, who you've interviewed, don't have yards elsewhere. I did that before and I hated it. Have one yard and keep an eye on it and keep the level of service, the standards at the highest you can possibly get them. You can't do it in 5-10 yards.
Can't be everywhere.
And I know you interviewed Paul Fox before. Hats off to him. He's bought numerous companies in various parts of the country. How the earth does that man keep an eye on that? Hats off to him for years.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't suit me personally.
No. Employing good people, I suppose, to run it and manage it.
Finding good people, though.
Well, good luck with that.
Finding good people.
Yeah, good luck.
We're very, very lucky. I always quote someone off, was it Meet the Parents, the Circle of Trust? I pinched off that years ago. And I guess we've got 50%, 60% of our people in the Circle of Trust. And then it's like a dartboard. It weakens very quickly. And, right, I was going to say right from, but that'd be a derogatory way of putting it. But if you look at the scale of people who drive trucks and machines, some of those are outstanding, some are average, some of them are transient, they're here until they get offered £50 an hour more and go and work for somebody else. However good a vehicle you give them, however good a thing. But the real good people, they appreciate how they get treated.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always say to the people here, I said, I'll be your best friend on your worst day.
Yeah.
When you're in hospital or you're in a pickle. I had people who I've paid them full money for 18 months, 2 years because I've been treated for cancer. Other people, I wouldn't give them a fag packet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they don't deserve it.
No.
We earn trust, we earn loyalty in this life, in my opinion. And the people who look after us, I look after them, or we look after them as a business.
Yeah, come here, work hard, and get rewarded.
Get looked after.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
If you want to nick offers or whatever, you ain't going to be here for 5 minutes, or you want to shirk off, go and work for somebody else.
Yeah. To give people some more context about you, I have to bring, I don't know if you remember our phone call a few weeks ago, which was pretty much, I told Mark, you were saying you told Mark, if you want to ask me some questions, but you said to me, if you want to remove something, you remove it, but I pretty much don't give a shit what anybody thinks. I'll answer it.
Do you know, years and years ago, or loads at a young age, why try and pretend to be something you're not? People either like you for what they are, or they don't like you for what you are. I don't like it when people put a facade on. There's no need for that. It's bullshit. And I'm not in that world. No. I'm a bit too blunt and I swear like a trooper, and I'm as blunt as a housebreak. And my wife, who we've been together now for 47 years, she said to me off the first week, she said, "You're like Marmite. People really like you and think you're a..." And then every now and again we have a little tiff. I said, "Isn't that a shame you didn't think I was Marmite all those years ago?" But you are what you are. And I don't think you should try and pretend to be anything other than you are.
Yeah.
Although I did put a show on today because I knew you guys would come.
Well, we should have then. No.
But it's just as it is really. I come to work every day. I never will stop. It's quite interesting actually, because before the Labour Party got voted in, we got a very clever CFO and tax planner for the future, which I won't go into too much. There's nothing illegal, by the way. Everything's totally legal. We're not interested in legal things. And gave a large proportion of the business to Jacob and his sister. And then just before the last year's budget, he said, "I think you should up that quite dramatically because they're going to change things, this, that and the other." And he spoke about it quite a bit that week. And the same week, just by coincidence, you've met Jake, he's not the sort of person that can drive. He's got something to say, he'll say it. He's saying, "Dad, do you really want to come here every day and part with this shit, all the crap we have to part with?" And so I got home on a Friday night and I said to my missus, "Julie, I think they're trying to roll me out. They want me to retire." Do you know what she said? She's "Not fucking retiring. I don't want you home with me." so I'm stuck where I'm not wanted, and I don't want...
You go home, you're not wanted.
I'm not a bad smell, but no, I can't not really wash.
No.
Why would you stop working? If you enjoy what you do, I don't get that.
Yeah, well...
If you want a day off, so I was had lunch with a friend of mine who's a big farmer, who's a little bit older than me. He said, "Well, I don't want to stop working. He said, if I want to, I'll take a day off.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's not much else I want to do up in beer, so I don't have too many days off.
Yeah.
That's it.
Are you of the ethos then that if you enjoy what you'll do, you'll never work a day in your life?
100%. I've never worked a day in my life.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, or caveat that, I had plenty of days think, what the fuck did we start up again for?
Yeah.
I still come back the next day.
Yeah.
And things are really tough for everybody at the moment in business, or tough for, for working people that are tough. And I say that, and I don't mean that in a derogatory fashion. I'm talking about people who draw a wage, go home, the rank and file, I think it used to be called, of people who made this country great. It's tough for everybody, every level.
Yeah.
You get somebody like Paul, who runs a big business, Paul Fox, runs a lot of trucks, and this is without the diesel hike recently. We're working for such a small margin for the amount of money we've got invested. It's actually a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just have to, we live in hope and work in hope that things will change and be better for everybody.
Yeah.
Because when it's better for business, and I'm a firm, listen, I'm thick as shit. I work on common sense. I'm a firm believer of you'll touch a pound that I've touched. You'll touch a pound that he's touched. That's how it works. We all live off each other. It's like one of those things in an old-fashioned Chinese restaurant. It's called a lazy Susie, the round thing. And it's like cake. You put a bit in to make the cake. You put a bit in. I take a bit off. He takes a bit off. That's how we all live off each other. But at the moment, the cake is getting smaller and smaller and less tasty. We just got to hope we have better times when we have a better partly run on the country. Because it's there to be done. We live in a great country, but it's being destroyed by idiots.
Yeah.
And they are idiots and they're clueless.
Yeah. You touched on the education system there, just in that then, but I'm probably the same belief as us then. Do you believe in school that we are taught the wrong things?
100%. Well, my wife, I went to a private school. Not that I learned a great deal. I think there was a very small private school. There was only 130 kids there. And I think, looking back on it, my dad paid for us to go there because I could have days off to be with him, which I did when I was a kid. There was a truck auction on. I jipped off. My mum went mad. He'll learn more, come with me. Anyway, that was that. Very big on sports, rugby, cricket, and not that I'm a sportsman, I'm useless. I'm good at pocket billiards. That's the only ball sport I'm any good at. But it taught you values. But now, my wife went to a state school the other side of town, and she said when I was there, they were taught, I think is it called home economics, where they teach you how to cook? I think we did in our school. And then a lot of the guys she went to school with, they went on to be roofers, scaffolders. Some of them still come in and do work now, at my age. They're not taught any of this stuff at school now.
No.
They don't even have proper games, apparently.
Yeah.
My grandsons go to a private school the other side of the state school where my wife went. I'm not being derogatory about the guys who go to state school and the guys and girls who go there, far from it. It's the system. How can a private school beat a state school 15-2 at football?
Yeah.
Because they don't even play bloody football at school now.
Yeah.
So they're not,
I know. Well, I did both. I did private school and state school. I was private school for the majority of my school time as a kid, and then I did the last couple of years at state school, which you can imagine was actually a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Private school, it does give you a few things that you may not get from a state school, but there are also negatives to it, and but they're just as bad. If I'm being honest with you, they are just as bad, really.
Yeah. We don't need to know the root square of whatever. It's life values. It's how
That's the problem. Algebra. I was just thinking, shit, the school wasn't interesting. I just used to stare at the classroom. I think Jay would probably say the same thing. He just kept thinking about looking at the dirt outside wherever they were to see what the motocross track would be like. And I was just thinking, what a waste I could be cleaning up machine Dad could sell or hire out or whatever. I'm just wasting my time here. What has algebra ever come in my life? Has it?
No.
Bollocks.
Yeah.
I left a school not knowing it was tax. What do I...
This need to take...
Yeah.
Home economics, I said, I think is what he's called cooking at school.
Yes. Yeah.
They should teach people world economics. This is what it's going to cost you: your rent, your rates, your tax.
Yeah.
Teach people normal stuff that we're going to use. If you want to go on to higher education, and there's a place for highly educated people, clearly. But I went to this private school, not one person at that school ever went to university. Now everybody goes to university because there's another excuse to have 3 or 4 years of doing sod all.
Yeah. Or they are told...
Not for all.
Yes. No, absolutely. But they definitely push people into further education. These education establishments push them into further education, because if you don't go to uni, you're a loser.
No, you have to now by law. You have to stay in school now. Is it 2 years?
18, yeah, till you're 18.
Well, we've got a friend of mine. He's become a friend. He's quite a bit younger than me, but he's a businessman. A small local business, or decent sized, sorry, I say it's very derogatory, a smaller local business, let's call it that. He employed about 30 people. He sold the business, and he's still wheeling and dealing and this, that, and the other. And he phoned me up, said, could my daughter get an apprenticeship with you? She doesn't want to go to university. She's very bright. And it's the sound of it, I haven't met her. Wayne, who I think you met, what the hell do you call him? The man who deals with employing people. What's he called?
HR? No, we
don't have HR here.
No, staff.
Onboarding.
Yes,
anyway, he met her and said, Christ almighty, she's one of the brightest young girls I've met. She's 17, she can't come here and work full time until she's 18. Yeah. So she's now got to go into further education. She doesn't want to, she wants to come and learn common sense
for the sake
to
of
earn money.
Common sense. You hit it on the head.
There you go. That's what we're short on. So, you know.
Getting a bit of a flavour for you while we've been sat here. What does success mean to you nowadays? Because you mentioned it, you've done very well. You sold a very successful business. You've done very well for yourself. Why? Well, like, why do this? And what does success mean to you now? And why did you restart?
Do you know what? When you're younger, or I'm speaking for myself, when you're younger, you want to buy a house, you want to get that done, and epoxy mortgage. And then you move up and buy another house, you get a bit older, you get kids. They get a little bit older, and we moved. With the house we live in now, really was two steps at once. It was too much. Yeah. But the bank rate was cheap. I was really lucky. I had a massive mortgage. I thought, I can pay it off in 5 years, and I did. Fortunately, I'm not trying to be cocky.
Yeah.
So you get to a stage in life, or this is my view of it. Okay, you get to a stage in life where your kids are growing up, they're then settling down. So everything then is for your kids. Okay, you want them to, have a nice house and have nice things and have a nice lifestyle. But you've got to work for it, and you've got to keep working. And I don't see why it's almost frowned upon to keep working. I remember Dad saying, I said, do you know that place I went to school in? He said he worked in Ransom's, big factory, used to be massive. Ipswich, big manufacturing place at one time. Ransom's and Rapiers, made the walk and drag line in Ipswich, made concrete mixers, things that went all over the world. Ransom's made steam engines, then ploughs and bits and pieces. There was another company called Cranes who made massive valves for fluid transmission and went all over the world. There was thousands of people work. They had foundries and machine shops. And he said, no, old boy, I went to school and no more in my life. He said, do you know what? He's been looking forward to retirement since the day he started work. He said, you watch, he'll be dead in fucking 12 months. Because that's just what happens. You've got to keep your brain active. You've got to keep going. And why shouldn't you? And, I'm very fortunate. Let's be clear about that. For a little fat bloke from Ipswich, we're not film stars or oil barons, but we've earned a quid. And we live a reasonable lifestyle. Don't go out much now because of the lack of law and order, but that's another thing. But why wouldn't you keep working? I love what we do. I love this industry. I don't like some of the bullshit that's coming in this industry. Now it's too much. The health and safety is getting a little bit over the top.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about potholes. The biggest cost around a stretch of potholes is the traffic management. That's another industry we created out of nothing. Good luck. I wish I'd started one 20 years ago. We'd have more money of that, and we would hire out having 125 million quid's worth of vehicles and plant assets.
It's the most expensive industry, and not a lot actually gets done in this country.
That's pathetic.
It's so expensive.
And do you know what the other thing is? If you look, we had a major part of our driveway planed off an asphalt yesterday.
Right.
The guy who's like the largest probably an asphalt company around here, a company called Taydale's. We've dealt with them for 30 odd years. Good people, good hard working people. The two guys are grafters, and I said, what this all it's been a bit shabby. It's done 10 years hard graft. The business has changed, so we've put trenches across. That looks shabby. I don't like it. I'm a bit OTT. He said, well, what do you want me to do it in? And I said, well, look, the trucks are getting bigger. There's more of them. The machine's getting bigger. There's more trucks every day. He said, well, what do you want me to do? And I said, Wayne, you're the expert in asphalt. What are you asking me for? He said, well, you want that French tarmac, don't you? Swear to God. Yeah. Said, what are you talking about French tarmac? He said, well, have you ever seen a pothole on the house on a motorway in France? Never. He said, you drive me here to the Orwell Bridge, you're going to drop in one there. There's potholes 18 inches across. Do you know what it is? That's this recycled asphalt. It's a load of bollocks. Yeah. It ticks a recycled box. It's just absolute crap. Yeah. I said, I want the French stuff. And that's what I was done. And all these blokes, all hard working blokes. I wish you'd been here yesterday to film that. It was the choreography of it was unbelievable. How they all work. One gets off a roller, then he's on a rake just going around the edges. Then another bloke comes along with a whacker blade. It was. I just stood there. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was so well organised. And they were all moaning about it because the asphalt's so sticky when they're raking it about. He said, "That one, you want to have a hole in that bastard?"
Yeah. Why don't we do it like that?
Because do you know what the difference is? That's £4 a square metre more to do it properly.
Yeah.
And John, when they had a road plane, a local company called Lumley Road Plane, a great friend, a personal friend of the business, super.
Oh, Lumley Plane.
You must go and you should do one with him. He's a lovely bloke. Squeaky clean, professional, proper business. And I came in yesterday morning. I don't get to work until 9 in the morning. I wake up early, but I hate getting out of bed. Looking on my iPad and looking at YouTube. And the road plane is going along quite a pace. I said, that asphalt we had down there looks like a load of old shit. The bloke said, that's the softest asphalt I've seen. That's what most roads are like around here now. He said, that's proper asphalt. This thing's just going through like a knife through butter.
God.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a shame you didn't see it. It was unbelievable how these guys worked.
Yeah.
But they're all moaning about it, how sticky this asphalt is, getting off the rakes and off the shovels.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we look at everything. Yeah. I often think it's a bit like government. Why don't they, my father said this 50 years ago, they should have a committee of proper business people who know different sectors, farming, who pay the UK tax. Yeah. So we're not talking about people who are trying to get away with anything, but people who actually know the job. Why do the Highways England have somebody like him and advise them? But no, they'll be advised by the big nationals who we all know, and I'm not going to name it because it's probably more for resold asphalt, but it ticks a box.
It's £4 cheaper, so we'll go with that one.
That's crap.
Not the whole. In 6 months.
Exactly that. Everything is short termism. And I'll give you an example. I'm a bit of a weirdo. When we had that building built, and I knew both the companies. They're both Ipswich-based companies who were the two people who priced it. And he said, well, how do you want it finished? I said, don't price it yet. I'm going to tell you how I want it done. I want 4 screws in every hinge. I want solid wood doors. And in the toilets, I want medium grade Italian or German sanitary ware like you'd have in a decent hotel. I don't want shit where the toilet seat's going to be falling off in 3 months' time. And do you know what? Let's do the test. I was 10 years old. Not one door's fallen off, and not one toilet seat's fallen off. And I know you can say, "Oh, well, that was a bit pathetic," but quality starts at the bottom and it works all the way through.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
That's how I see it. I don't like doing things second best because it costs more.
Yeah.
Do it once. Buy cheap, buy twice.
You do.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's
And I'm not interested in that.
So, right, what you say there, we do a lot of European road trips, and the roads over here compared to Europe.
Well, it's hilarious. You can do all the way back in the French motorways. Lovely, lovely, lovely. You get off the train back here and you're falling apart.
First thing you do, we used to go all over Europe in the motorhome, following Jake round when he was in the World Championship World Motocross Championship. And we had this big 6-wheel Mercedes German motorhome built.
Lovely.
You put a little car on the back, but we're a typical bit over the top of me, what twat anyway. And we're driving along through France, where you go off, get on the Calais, the motorway at Calais, and about 5 or 6 miles you turn right to start heading towards Reims, I think it is.
Yeah.
And my wife said to me, have we stopped? She'd fallen asleep while driving. I said, no. The motorhome was really quiet, but so were the roads.
Yeah.
And then it's the same as the traffic management. Go back to that, and I'm not decrying friends of mine who've got a traffic management business, but it's bollocks. Yeah. We put cones out 3 miles for some roadworks on a major road.
Yep.
Over there, it's 1,000 metres, 750, 500. Then when you get to 250, there's like a dummy holding a flag doing this, and they dress them up and put beards on them, don't they? And put hard hats on them. That's it. You go into a contraflow, because most of the French payars have been on a dual carriageway. Contrary, everybody does 80 kilometres an hour. Nobody slows down. We do have a 50 and everybody does 30.
Rubbernecking. Yeah.
And then you look at the other side, they planed up the 2 lanes and the hard shoulder, and the pavers doing all 3 in one hit. Yeah. No joints, last longer.
Yeah, of course.
Weakest part of any asphalt place is going to be a joint.
Yeah.
It just bores my piss. We waste so much money because we don't do it properly the first time.
There was an accident, wasn't there, when we were in Germany? Yeah. We were on the auto. I can't remember anyway, but we were somewhere in Germany. You've got a ambulance, a helicopter coming in, pick someone up. They're obviously like a fatal or somebody really injured, and we're still going. Yeah. We're still moving through the contraflow.
Driving along this motorhome through Germany, it was really, really hot, 35 degrees in the middle of the summer, really, really hot. And in front of us, our 5 Series BMW had overtaken a Renault Master van. Somehow he got hooked on the back bumper and it blocked the 2 lanes. I said, this is fucking handy. We're going to start here for hours now. Do you know what? and I'm not bullshitting, 4 or 5 minutes later, literally minutes later, there was 2 silver 5 Series BMW, and they have a green stripe with Polizzi, however you say it.
Yeah.
They hooked a strap on both of them. They were off the road. The road was moving again in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
When there's a problem here, they shut the fucking thing for a day.
I was going to say, if that was the A14, no, we need at least 2
honestly,
hours.
you should live here.
Yeah.
When there's a problem on that bridge, there's a jump, and they shut the bridge.
Yeah.
This town is gridlocked.
Really?
It'll take you 3 hours to get to the other side of town.
God.
Yeah.
But we're doing so much wrong. It's
Yeah, we get it.
But do you know, it's just common sense. But we love creating jobs, don't we?
Yeah.
But the problem is we're creating for jobs for people that don't create anything.
Yes.
They don't put anything back. It's just an on cost.
Yeah.
And I'm not got a thing against civil servants, but we've created this layer of bullshit in this country.
Regulation.
You know, the regulation that we actually. I'm all for health and safety. I always say to everybody else, the checkbook for health and safety has no limit.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. I don't want to see anybody get hurt or seriously injured or worse working for me. I wouldn't sleep because this place is my life, apart from my family. But the crap we have to do, it's not necessary. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it has. The UK has become employ 5 people. We said this often, don't we?
Yeah.
Employ 5 people to stop one person doing his job.
Health and safety should be there to make the working environment safe, not to stop you working.
Yeah.
And there's a very big difference.
But it's killed us ever being a sensible choice for another country to use it. Remember back in the day, it was British engineering.
Oh, but we're killed out. This net zero has killed that for it.
Yeah.
And do you know what has killed manufacturing? Germany was the European powerhouse manufacturer. That has killed their car industry stone dead because of all this bullshit. The cost of the power. And I read this week earlier on, the government are now going to nationalise British Steel.
Yeah.
Just so we waste billions more. It will never work because of the cost of our energy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any organisation that went national or non-privatised. What do you call it? What's the word? I'm trying to think of any in the UK recently that's actually been successful.
yeah.
You know, I think with Margaret Thatcher, what she did years ago, and people will hate me for saying it, she did the right thing because the coal miners had this country's both bollocks in their hands. Yeah. And I can remember, I'm old enough to remember having the lights going out. You know, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the electric went off, literally. No telly, no lights. So she had to do something about it. But she made a mistake. When they sold these BT and all these companies off, it should, and the water boards especially, as we're now seeing now, there should have been a certain amount of their profits every year have got to go straight back into the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you got that one wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like coal. We've got loads of coal. I was reading something earlier this morning, 5:30 this morning, where China, one of their coal-fired power stations, created more CO2 than this whole country.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah, all we're doing is exporting all the engineering and manufacturing to China.
Yeah.
What a great idea. What a fucking brilliant idea.
So we're doing all of this.
Yeah.
We're selling off. We're outsourcing resources, and we're getting China to do everything. Their emissions go up because they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
We're exporting our CO2, that's all we're doing.
That's it.
so bizarre.
It's ridiculous.
So we,
Fortunately, people like JCB still manufacture here.
Sure.
yeah,
If you know, if I was them, I wouldn't manufacture here because the cost of doing it must be ridiculous.
I know.
And you know, hats off to Lord Bamford's a man I know very well. He's a lovely guy and very pro-British, fortunately. But wow.
But when that goes, when that generation goes,
Yeah, will it stay?
Yeah, of course.
Will it stay? I don't
No,
know.
it don't.
You know, the car manufacturing, same thing. The unions killed British car manufacturing.
Yeah.
That's a shame, isn't it? When foreign money owns car manufacturers here. A few years ago, the Nissan plant at Sunderland was the most efficient car plant in the world.
Yeah.
Still being made by the same guys, but it's being run by people who won't put up with this crap. They'll just shut it. And you know, but they killed British Ireland. The unions. I was trying to explain to Jake when we were younger. There used to be a chap called Red Robbo. He was the shop steward, and there'd be tens of thousands of people at Longbridge, and every other week he was on the TV, all out.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And the vehicles they made were crap as well, by the way.
Yeah.
The quality was shit.
What? Why do you think we do that? Why don't we? Why aren't we patriotic anymore? If you look at the States, for example, if I use them for an example, they wouldn't dream of letting a big American, say Apple.
No chance.
They wouldn't dream of letting Apple sell out to China.
No chance. And do you know what everybody moans about Trump? Yeah, he's a bit extreme, but you know what? He's got some guts, and he's actually, it's all about America.
Yeah.
And if we're talking...
And hats off to him. Wish we had a leader like him.
Yeah, if we're talking industry specific here as well, he's even gone so much as to say, all those emission systems on those John Deeres, all those machines we make, get rid of it. We don't want it. We don't need it.
they're backed off on their diesel emission thing, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because it's too far.
Yeah.
You know, I've got an old truck here which I kept because there's a picture of the new vehicles. The new registration used to be the 1st of August, once a year, and that's my father's birthday. And a friend of ours, or became a friend, owned a truck dealership 2 roundabouts from here, and so we'd normally go up there about mid-morning. I think this particular day we had 35 new trucks, and the owner of the business, his PA, made cakes, and as a sideline, made my father a birthday cake. There's a picture of Jake when he's 4 years old, and my dad in front of this truck. So it's the only reason I've ever kept it. There's very few pictures of Jake and my dad. Anyway, I said, you start that truck with a cold one, you won't see across the yard for smoke. You start. When's the last time you saw a truck smoke? The only thing you see smoke on the road are lefties who all drive wanked out old Citroen people carriers, black smoking because they're not maintained.
Yeah. It's so funny,
Tree huggers,
isn't it?
you know, we're saving the planet. Oh, sorry, I choked you to death with my crappy old car.
It's so true.
You're absolutely spot on. You're absolutely spot on.
I'm gonna sit across the motorway and let everybody sit there with their engines idling.
Yeah.
Honestly, what is going on?
Yeah, the world has actually gone mad, but unfortunately, where we would be the country to go, you lot are mad, we're going to do our own thing. We're actually the extremity. Like we're the extremists.
When Europe said we're going to have no, we're going to stop all, if I remember this correctly, petrol and diesel vehicle sales 2035. We said straight away 2030.
Yeah.
Where the hell did they come from?
I know. Yeah.
Well, that's crap.
How
you know, it's like the European car manufacturers. If they don't sell a certain percentage of electric vehicles, they get fined 18,000 euros or something.
A car.
A
A vehicle. Yeah.
Who ever dreamt that up?
Yeah.
All the manufacturers now are reverse lab electrics as fast as they can.
Yeah.
It's nearly killed the Volkswagen Group. It's nearly killed Ford.
Yeah.
They lost 58 billion on electric vehicles, I think.
Yeah.
Porsche would have lost the money.
Yeah.
Dreadful.
It's ridiculous.
The one that didn't fall for it, still had electric vehicles, but didn't fall for it to the same extent was BMW Group. And ironically now, I've just driven one before I came here, as who I was with BMW, this new iX3, it's got a 520-mile range.
Wow.
They've designed their own battery, and it's a ground-up car.
Right.
It's not an advert for BMW, by the way, but I just...
Don't worry, we're BMW fans.
It's just unbelievable. I've just ordered a new i3, though. You can order them for the 1st of March. I'll have one of them.
Yeah.
Look like a 3 Series electric, 560-mile range. On my grey of electric vehicles, they have their place. It's not in trucks, it's not in plant.
Nope.
Vehicles driving around the city, buses driving around the city. As soon as you start going up and down the road, the motorways, you know,
doesn't work.
We're on corporate social responsibility, and I'll get shot to pieces for this. I don't need lessons on that. We own 100 acres of wood there, which is being given to a charity here for less fortunate children who have issues and the young adults, for them to manage, for some to do, not some to do, that's the wrong way of putting it, as a vocation. We run the newest, most modern, low emission vehicles we can. We've got solar panels over all these, the buildings we're sat in now. I don't need a lesson on corporate social responsibility. We employ ex-prisoners, we employ ex-servicemen, we do everything we can.
Yeah.
But tell us we've got an electric truck that costs 3 times the price and carries 30% less, that does 3/4 of a day's work. Sorry, that's not happening while I'm in charge.
Yeah.
And the cost of doing these trucks is just, the whole thing's bullshit.
Yeah.
Electric, they should be a mix of energies.
Yeah.
You know, we spoke about earlier on gas. We're not drilling our own gas. Where's that bloke? He's never been out of Islington, has he? Unless he goes on a private jet to Davos to talk about how fucking great they are and saving the planet.
Yeah.
We produce 1% of the world's CO2. There was an interesting thing I watched the other day. How much CO2 is there in the atmosphere? 0.04%.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So this was a guy in America, and he's talking to the board, whatever they call them, America, senior energy people, government-based. So what percentage are we creating of that? They couldn't tell them. You know, he said, and a friend of mine, I think he said he was in Chicago. He runs 30 urban delivery trucks, 18 tonners. I'd be over here, I guess, 15 tons over there. He said, do you know what? I'm going to see about changing them to electric. He ran 12 forklifts in his warehouse.
Yeah.
They went to the local power supplier, and they came back and said, are you joking? You want nearly 3 times the power the factory that built those trucks used to charge those things so you can use them the next day. It's bollocks.
Isn't it?
We have to be. I'm all for saving the planet. Listen, I want I love our country, I love our world, I've got kids, I've got grandchildren, I want it to be. But you have to be realistic about what is achievable without destroying everything around you. And at the moment, we're just destroying everything around us.
Totally agree.
The cost of everything is just going through the roof. And so what happens? It just stops people spending their money because everybody has their limits of what they can spend. Doesn't matter where you are on the financial ladder, and I will use that expression for this one, we all have our limits.
Yeah.
And whichever rung of the ladder on, we all want to be on the next one. But everybody has their limits, and they're just killing it stone dead. How can a pint of beer be £7 in an ordinary village pub?
Oh no! How do we ever get to that?
You know what I mean? Where's that come from?
Yeah.
Was it the there's a thing, wasn't there, on like over the last 20 years, like compared, they'd always do it to Freddos, don't they? Where like Freddos are now 10 times more expensive than what they were.
The half size.
Yeah, and wages have only gone up like twice as much as what they were.
Yeah.
So now it costs you 5 times more to live than it did. Yeah. But you only earn twice as much as what you did. Yeah, it's completely.
Well, unless you're on the social, because their benefits have gone up 25% in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
But
crazy, isn't it?
That's how
crazy.
It's stacked up. How can it be right? You got 5 kids and you get the £32 now to sit on your ass.
It's
I know. The more kids
there's not a truck driver.
Yeah.
There's not a machine driver taking home £32 an hour after tax in this country that I know of.
Back in the day, you weren't forced to work, but it was you go to work, you're proud to work. Now it's you can't make people do anything because it's a human rights thing.
Well, the local authorities and like Cambridgeshire County Council were the first one to adopt 4-day working week.
Yeah, why can't
they do? It's like this work from home. We had our CFO is a very, very clever, intelligent guy. He's been with us 4.5 years. He was a director at HSBC Business Unit in Cambridge, and who dealt with the whole of East Anglia, and very, very big advocate of all proper corporate structure. And he has smartened us up. There's no two ways about that. I'm very analog. Be the first to admit that. And been about 6-8 months towards this is our HR manager. So what we got one in for? Well, we need to have one. We got bollocks anyway. So the first board meeting, he wheels this chap in. He said, I've got an open door policy and I'll be emailing all the staff. That's your first mistake. Anyway, about 3 or 4 months later, and I took an instant dislike to play, just a twat. Anyway, he said, I said, like, he's where you are. And I said, what's he doing in there? It's a board meeting. Well, I want to do a presentation. I said, listen, we've got a few hours to talk about real things. I'm not interested in this bullshit. We need to concentrate on trying to earn some money. Let him just give him 5 minutes. And he said, I've been inundated. I had this open door policy. I've been inundated with inquiries from the staff, this, that, and the other. So, right. He said, I'm going to need an assistant. I said, you're not getting an assistant. No, he said, you're wrong. I need an assistant. And another time I said, look, let's just be very clear about this. I'm going to throw my weight about here for a minute. I own every fucking share in this business. The owner of this business has just told you you're not getting an assistant.
Yeah.
Well, you're wrong. Fine, I'll be wrong then. Yeah. And then he carried on a bit, and then about 5 minutes later he said, and I'll be working from home 2 days a week. No work from home.
Yeah.
No, he said, I will, but I said, no, I think we just established a few calls to shots here. You will not be working from home.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was that. I said, I bloke Gary, fucking idiot. Anyway, following Saturday, I might be saying too much here, by the way, Jake interviewed a machine driver. So as this bloke walks in, Jake happened to be in the building over there at the time he walked in, just went, he said, I was taking a digger driver on Saturday morning. Well, you can't take anybody on without me interviewing them. He said, what do you know about digger drivers? And he said to me, well, that bloke is.
Yeah.
Let's just say he didn't last that much longer.
So safe to say there's no HR department?
We had, but the modern word is outsourced, and we get somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
You pay for the services, and it's not a case of being unfair with employees. It's been about doing it's all about right processes now. If not, you get fined, of course. It's just doing it right. We've taken out somebody who we didn't need. He was an absolute twat in the first place. Yeah. And we had one in our previous business, our MD there, and went to work one day, or been out on the site, came back, went to walk in the workshop, and there's these 2 galvanised buckets half full of sand. So what twat put these on? And he tripped over it getting in the workshop door, the roller shutter door.
Yeah.
He stood over there. We spoke with him. Every bit of high-vis on you could have, got a helmet on, goggles on. He's in our yard, for Christ's sake. He's not doing any work.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so I said to the bloke, I said, who are you, mate? He said, I'm the new health and safety bloke. I said, oh, are you? Oh, right, okay. So we put those buckets there for people to put the cigarettes out. I said, okay, and I'm a bit overtime and I used to smoke. Saw this outside a hotel in outside the Ritz, I think we're at. These lovely stainless steel mounted, wall-mounted things for 75 gallon. And I actually took a picture of it because I never remember it. And they were 600 quid each. And we had 3 of them outside strategic places. One outside where I worked with sister. She smoked like a train as well at the time. Outside the workshop and outside the vehicle workshop. So I said, so they can't walk an extra 6 foot to stub out. So I'm going to give 600 quid for them to do. So it looks nice. I said, no, you made a trip hazard. I said, no, how's that? Anyway, a bit later, so I just walked.
Common sense.
Walking up the top of the yard, there's quite a busy road in our old yard. We had all the van hire vehicles along the front. When people are stuck in traffic, everybody's looking at our van hire, like the best advert we'd have, busy road. All the vehicles have been moved, and the staff car's along the front. So I said, who's doing this? My mate. So we're now to about 12:30 his first morning. So I said, why have you moved the rental vehicles off my forecourt? Well, he said that that's the yard's like type 1 now. It's a better surface for the lash belt service, better service for the staff to walk on. I said, right, so you now lost my best advert. I said, the way you're going, mate. I said, we won't be earning money, so we won't need any fucking staff parking spaces, will we? Put the vehicles back there. He said, I can't work like this. And he went lunchtime at 8.
Yeah.
Because health and safety is there to make the workplace safe, not to stop you working.
Yes.
Common sense.
Oh, I'm so with that.
Some people have learned the thing.
Yeah.
This is the problem. That is the problem with it.
I don't get hated for all this, but you know what? I don't give a shit. This is my own personal opinion.
No, there's a lot of health and safety which has been fantastic. We were probably one of the first countries to adopt it. It's been amazing. You only have to look at some of the other countries where there is no health and safety, and you know they're poor. But it needs to be practical, and I think that's the problem with a lot of the health and safety and the regulations is they're taught in a classroom. And they're told, you can't do this, you can't do this. They read these placards. We've all done those site induction things. Oh, my God. They go through a slideshow, you get shown a presentation, and then they're dropped off in your yard, and they go around going, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. But it's not practical.
You know, it's another thing about people who try and ticket people to drive machines. Not all. So I'm very much a broad brush, but I'm not aiming this at everybody. Some of the blokes work with me, and one of the chaps needs, I've been driving a dig for 27 years. He said, no, this place, Copenhagen, trying to tell me, he's the bloke couldn't dig a hole. I was in California with my wife 3 years ago, August, and we're driving along this big road, busy road, 3 lanes, and I think they call it the median in America, the bit in the middle, the central reservation, very wide. Yeah. They've got D10s running up and down the silos, and the cones are on the edge of the inside the carriageway. Yeah. That's not 2 lanes shut off to do it.
No. It's just literally...
We're talking about a major civil engineering project. Not some old boy cutting the verge. Here, if they're cutting the verge, well, not they ever do around here now. That's rewilding, by the way. You know, it's like so the roads again, the country lanes around there are getting narrower and narrower. Because they don't cut the bloody hedges, but we are saving the planet. Of course. Yeah, but the fact that you might crash into somebody and kill them head on,
they'll close down the motorway because you know there's a branch in the middle of the road for an hour. But yeah, they'll leave the country lanes or they'll rewild or what they call it when they rewild where they rewild areas. So. It just doesn't make sense.
Honestly, along this road here, you drove from the roundabout along there, okay, 30 mile road. My mother-in-law lives about 8 houses along there, the other side of the road. She's 88 years old, and the bus stop this side of the road is so overgrown. She went over there and cut about the shears herself so the branches don't put when she's done her hair, poor old girl. So the local councillor here is a fantastic lady. She's all pro. This area is called Kesgrove. Everything's about Kesgrove and making it better for everybody. And I said, Debbie, I want to get a hedge cut along here because it's dangerous. The path's getting narrower and narrower. Somebody's going to step in the road. A car's going to hit them, or God forbid, that'll be one of our trucks. And we've got trucks here. We're killing everybody. You know, the councillor made it dangerous, or more dangerous. So she said, well, we'll have to, that's really good. I said, I'll do it at our expense. Anyway, so we'll have to have a teams meeting with a chap from Suffolk Highways, an ecology person from Suffolk Coastal Council, me and this local councillor. So the chap from the Highways went for us. I said, you still understand you want to have the hedges cut? I said, too, because it's dangerous. Why is it dangerous? I said, because the paths now getting to be a foot wide. Told them the thing about my mother-in-law, which is a true story. I said, it's dangerous. I said, the road's not that big anyway. I said, there's bicycles riding along there. Somebody's going to... Anyway... So then this young lady, couldn't have been 21, 22. She said, it's done to help the wildlife. That's right. If that's the best you can contribute, please don't say anything anymore during this online meeting.
Yeah.
So I beg your pardon. And the bloke from the council, she can say what she wants. Well, we don't need to hear that sort of bollocks, do we? I said, it's dangerous. So are you telling me a bird's nest is more important than a human being?
Yeah.
I said, it's everywhere around you. We're in a green country, green around here. Look at it. We own 100 acres of wood there, right beside the main road.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then he went on, well, we'll have to have your traffic management plan. We don't need any traffic management. We do it early in the morning. She piped up again, well, you'll be disturbing people's rest. So I thought I'd ask you not to comment anymore. When you're old enough to have had some common sense and some life experiences, you'll be welcome to comment, and your comments will be valued. But you're talking rubbish. Anyway, I said, the old girl phoned me up in the council. She said, that didn't go too well. So I said, what a load of bollocks. I said, do you know what I did? Got a price for somebody to do it. And I was done 3 days later, nobody even knew about it.
Yeah.
I just did it. That's what I should have done in the first place.
Yeah. That's it. It's all this this regulation bollocks.
It's really wild. Yeah. The East Suffolk Council had a fantastic offices, old-fashioned buildings, beautiful buildings. Anyway, they had this part of this new, the brand new building. Part of the fact the building's not fit for purpose. Another story which I won't go into on film, but it was a joke. And at the front, it looks like the building's been empty for 3 years because there's no flowers or anything out the front, no grass cut. It just looks shit. I even sweep the road and cut the verges near where I live because nobody else does it.
Yeah.
It's just a drop in the standards.
Yeah.
There was on the Ipswich Borough Council, the local paper on their Facebook page, but we're now going to spend money on the green areas for Ipswich. So I come, well, you don't need to do that because there's fucking weeds everywhere. You don't ever sweep a road. No, they never suck and go out. So when since it pisses with rain, we have proper rain. This main road flows right across the path, everything.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, you used to see gully suckers all day. Ipswich Borough Council had them everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't remember last time anybody here. So now they pay somebody a fortune to go and suck them out when it's blocked.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Again, the creative.
No maintenance.
But
if you didn't maintain a truck, it would be dangerous, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the roads become dangerous.
Yeah.
But it's like a friend of mine deals in damaged vehicles. He said, and I don't know if anybody's ever watched Bat Armstrong on YouTube.
Yes.
The car, petrol cars have got a thing called a pyro fuse, and which stocks the electric fuel pump. But now they've got a fuse in the battery. You can't buy the fuse.
Yeah, you have to buy the battery.
So these cars get written off, and there's hardly any damage to them. Because they need an 8,000 quid battery when the fuse is probably about 300 quid.
It's hilarious.
So how's that saving the planet either? So we bought an electric vehicle to save the planet, but then as soon as it gets a bump, the cost of repairing it is so high, it has to be written off.
Yeah.
It's like crashing a petrol car and going, change the engine.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you've got to put a new engine in.
That's it. Yeah, we'd be like, what? It's about a rear crash. No, change the engine.
I was telling you about that. Oh, I know, the Landman thing, that's what it was.
Yes.
So 10 years ago, funny if I came up showing a picture now as a memory on my Facebook page today, at a Dodge Ram. Anyway, on my driveway. Show it to you there, then. Look. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I jacked up Dodge Ram. So we're watching the Landman. The last Sunday before Christmas, my said, why don't you just get a fucking truck? Like, we always had a truck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right. So about 23 seconds later, I'm on my iPad, and the best Ram you can buy is called a TRX. It's got 720 horsepower.
Oh, yeah.
And then I suddenly thought, do you know what? That's too big for the roads now because the hedges have made the roads narrower.
Yeah.
So I bought a Ranger Raptor, Ford Ranger Raptor, which is still awesome.
Yeah.
But that's probably the size the Ram felt on our roads 10 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The roads have got smaller and not fit for the cars anymore, and the cars have got bigger. Or in this case,
and all the car tax and first reg fees went up again the 1st of April as well.
Yeah. I just taxed my car, and it's like 650 quid for the year to tax. It's like, again, coming back to the whole argument of road tax. Well, okay, do
what
something.
we get. Well, we get tax when well, I think we have the lowest spend of fuel tax and road tax. The lowest percentage in the world goes back into rebuilding the highways system, or the road. Sorry, I sound American. Road network, maintain that.
We all know where it's going, but I won't go into that one.
Yeah,
but there you go.
Yeah, we're just going to end up becoming another Italy, or they were once great, and now Italy's stunning. It's beautiful, but
roads are dreadful.
Even
the what they call over there. I love it when you go. Arrivederci when you put
Arrivederci, yeah.
There's always some Italian lady with a lovely, sexy voice. Arrivederci, that's it.
Yeah.
But the roads are dreadful.
Yeah, well, it's not just it's everything, infrastructure.
Hey, I was just called there. I'm blank.
Yeah.
Should know. So we've done enough miles on, but anyway, old age. We need a bit of AI here.
Yeah. No. I'll tell you what. I'll ask you. Who's your? I think I know what your answer might be. But who's your role model? Who was your
hero?
Yeah.
Everybody's got a hero, and I've got to tell you a funny story about Lord Bamford because he's a digger man through and through. His father was a clever engineer. How I see it, and I stand to be corrected, and I'd hate to ever offend Lord Bamford, Sir Anthony, the chairman, as people in JCB call him. He's made that business what it is today. His father's a great engineer. He's made it into it's just, however the mix works, and I've never want to say anything derogatory about him or what his role is, but he's transformed it. Fantastic British company. And when we sold our previous company, we had a massive fleet at JCB Telehandlers, had the largest fleet in the world. We sold out on September the 1st, 15, and 2-3 weeks later, a handwritten letter from congratulations on the sale of your business. Thanks for being a wonderful customer. It's lovely our families have done business for 40, 50 years, whatever it was. Anyway, I'd like to invite you to have a lunch with me. So anyway, they got put off. He was busy, I was busy. And I actually drove up there, a really dreary, misty, light rain February day, a horrible day, freezing cold. And when I got there, I don't know if you've ever been to the JCB factory, when you have lunch with the directors, it's all glass, at one end is a corridor. So it was about 4 of the directors of the Richard Dunn, who owns Watkin JCB, and his right-hand man, Andy Rain, right-hand sales director, were in there. And the first thing is a chap called Tim Burnhope, who's been with JCB for years. He said, unfortunately, the chairman can't be with us today. He's full of flu, and with the weather, he can't take off from Dalesford in the Cotswolds / Gloucestershire where he lives. Disappointed, anyway. So I really do love the old boy. Anyway, so we had lunch, and after we had lunch, as you can see, I've got plenty to say, but I'm also quite an emotional person. It's a chap called Dan Thompson, who was the UK sales director at the time. He now works for Watling JCB, good guy. He got this box, opened up, he said, we've had this commission for you. He said, no, before you open, he said, our figures say your father's been, in his time and your time since, you've been buying machines since the mid-80s, and we've worked out you've had 17,000 machines off us. So I was quite really choked up.
Wow,
and I get choked up quite easily, first to admit it. Anyway, and I've got to turn this around before I blub in front of these powers. So I said, well, do you know what? I said, you've actually got your... I said, I said, I bet you fuckers never thought you'd see me without anything to say.
Yeah.
And they all had a chuckle and half got away with this now. And I said, but do you know what? It's lovely. I said, well, you got your figures wrong. Because Dad actually started buying stuff mid to late 70s. That's probably near 25,000. It should be solid gold, not fucking silver. Anyway, with that, Tim Burnhope goes... His phone's ring, can't open, so you see through. You came in. The chairman will be here in 20 minutes. He's got 20 minutes. Anyway, awesome.
Yeah.
So we go up to his office, and you could see he was full of it. He looked dreadful, poor old boy. He was genuinely ill. He said, you know, I had to be here out of respect. You know, over the years, the amount of business we've done together, so I had to be here. I really like that. So we're chit-chatting away, and then after about 20 minutes, somebody came to us like this with a watch. He said, I'll go back in the car. I'm staying here talking to Guy. Anyway, which was also very, very pleased and proud of. You know, why do you want to talk to a little fat digger bloke from Ipswich? But anyway, that's the sort of man we're talking about. So I went round and I said, you know, I've been asked no end of times, have I ever met you over the years? I said, well, yeah, unfortunately, I've met Mr. Bamford loads of times. Lord Bamford, the chairman, Sir Anthony, right when I was a little boy, when I used to go with my dad. And he said, oh, better waste time talking to him about machines. It'd be like talking to Prince Charles. I said, listen, he's very well spoken, but he knows exactly what's going on. Don't you worry about that. I said, he's the coolest old boy I've ever met. And he looked at him and he looked around all his directors and the people who own Watlings. Richard Telfer, I couldn't remember his name, but a nice guy. He said, coolest? I don't think I've ever been described as cool. Why would you describe me as cool? I said, I'll tell you exactly why. I said, in the late 80s, we always had the first machines of a new model to get a little bit of publicity for a little company in Ipswich against all the nationals. And I said, we had the first 532-120 four-wheel steer, equal size wheel, 12-metre machines. And they were dreadful at the time. They leaked. They were awesome. They were awful. Came to the market just a bit too early. Anyway, I said, I remember Dad saying, if you can't sort these fucking things out, he said, I've had a deal with Mantel. I've already got sticker kits made. And the big plant show back in the day, and that was a big show, was called SED back in the day. They were all ready for the shows down at SED. They'll all be Manitous with our name on them. I said, you let my dad huff and puff and run out of steam. And he was a really ill-tempered mate. Loved him to bits. How he didn't have a heart attack and die every day was a miracle, because he was a kind of fucking temper. Anyway, and I said, I always remember you saying, this is where I think you're cool. Well, Percy, let's hope we can get these issues sorted out and you give us a stay of execution. That's why I think I would describe you as cool. He said, but Guy, you've missed a large part of that story out. What your father also said was he was going to have one of, we didn't sort them out, he was going to have one of these machines transport, put it right outside your office, pay for all the UK plant press to be there while one of our blokes cut the fucking thing in half. And he'd remembered that after all these years. I did it. I forgot about it.
Wow.
But yeah, no, he's a cool bloke, and he is a hero of mine. And I said that to him. I said, everybody's got heroes, footballers, cricketers, film stars, car racers. I said, you're my hero because of what you've done for our industry.
Yeah.
And JCB has made our business. And no doubt they earn good money out of that. It's a two-way thing, and a good business relationship has to be a two-way thing. It can't be all my way, can't be all your way.
Yeah.
It has to work for both parties. And so JCB is a massive part of my life.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah.
And I've never forgot that. They really did put us on the map because they work with us.
Yeah.
They want us to succeed. They want all their customers to succeed, of course. But we were very peculiar because people like Hewden and High back in the day, who would have had a bigger fleet at the time, the chap who ordered them was an accountant possibly, or we lived in the yard. We lived with them, so we had the problems first. We were on the phone to them straight away. Look, you've got this problem, a recurring problem. So we always worked very closely with them, still do now, not to the same extent, but he always used to say to me as well, now, Guy, what about track machines? And I had been against shot by JCB for saying this. It's not for us. Why is that? I said, because that's shit. The new one's rather good, and I had this a number of times over the years. I said, well, send us one down to try if you think that's a good. Anyway, over the years, they were dreadful. Never bought track machine. We started buying them May 2 years ago, May 24. We had a few little issues with them. I got those ironed out very quickly, and they've been absolutely fantastic, I'm pleased to say.
Brilliant.
Really, really good. Made in this country.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's it.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
British jobs.
Yeah.
English jobs, British jobs.
That's it.
And that's what we need.
We're keeping it in
Britain.
Yeah.
In Britain.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks they do a great thing buying a Chinese car. They're not doing us any good.
No.
They're destroying the whole of Europe systematically every day.
Stop buying Chinese cars.
I won't have a Chinese car. We had some Chinese diesels. We had to buy some Sannies when we couldn't get anything 22.
No.
Late 21, early 22, because they were typically in buying machines. So we bought some Sannies and they've been okay.
Yeah.
Would I rush to buy any more? I'm not really sure. I know Jake's going to try a 50-tonner, but bread and butter stuff, it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've been very reliable, I have to say.
Yeah.
But
That's why I find the tariffs Trump's been doing over in the US. I feel like sometimes we should be doing that here. We bring in so much. We should be tariffing absolute peanuts of all this stuff.
But there's no tariffs at all in the UK, I don't think, is there? So you got Nissan's made in this country, Minis made in this country. How long is it before BMW Group with the Minis, for example, say, do you know what, bollocks to England, we're going to make them in Hungary. Slovakia. There's a reason Jaguar Land Rover made the new Defender, built a brand new factory in Slovakia and not in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Because the cost of building it.
Yeah. And they probably can build it quicker, have to jump through less hoops, less red tape.
We've had loads of Defenders in, never ever had Jaguar Land Rover products. And I think that's 5 years they've been out now. We had the first lot, had a few minor issues, there was a few things, but what a great vehicle.
Yeah.
And I've actually got one of the very last, the old ones, which I bought the day before we got our first new shape one. And I normally go to Jake's house once a year, and it's about 10, 14, 15-minute drive from my house. And every I drive it one day, get a text the 1st of April, and then for 6 months, and then put it back in the shed. It stays in the shed all the time, because it's a collector's piece, only done for a while. And you drive and think, what a bit of shit. It's horrendous. How big, roughly, listen, apart from having a fat belly, I'm a small bloke. How can a big, strong a serviceman drive? They must have always a rattan on the right arm. Because you're cramped. But it's just something about them. They're so crap, they're awesome. But this new one is just a different thing. And I've got to say, I know I'm a second Range Rover person. Never had one until then. It's unreal. But why do we have to wait for foreign investment to do it? You know, why do we have to wait for a big Indian a conglomerate to buy?
I don't know. The funny thing is as well, we showed all of these countries how to do it. And now we're paying them to do it.
When I was trying to explain to Jake, when I was younger, Rolls-Royce, for example, I've got Rolls-Royce cars, I love them. Fortunate enough to have them. It's my one weakness in life. I'm very happily married. My one weakness is cars. I love cars. I love vehicles. It still gets to send me when I see a new truck come down the drive. Absolutely fantastic. When my father had them when I was a kid, they were crap. Looked great. Everything you touched, the paintwork, the leather, the wood was fantastic. Mechanic, they'd been the same for 40 years, no investment. But Rolls-Royce was like a poison chalice. One was owned by the government, then it's owned by Vickers, then it's owned by BOAC. BMW had to buy it and do it properly. The same has happened with Bentley. I had a Bentley Jeep, I don't know, 10 years ago, V8 diesel. Absolutely unbelievably good. Audi engine, no doubt. And the chap said to me, I've ordered one, I had one, and in his office when I went to pick it up, in Bentley, Cambridge, he got this arts impression on one there. I said, what's that one? It's got bigger wheels on, looks a bit low, looks a bit sexy. Oh, they're doing an S. I saw this one, I mean, exactly the same colour as I got now. He said, you said you'd be a good customer. I said, well, I'll have one, no, definitely. Anyway, would you like to go to the factory? I said, love to. Went to Crew. And a guy about my age, seen him on TV since Neil or Nigel, his name was, and people having factory visits. Anyway, so you go into a room, a bit like this presentation, I'll welcome Guy Nicholls to Bentley Crew. So I said, how long have you worked here? Oh, he said, I came when I left school, worked in the trim shop back in the old days and the new. Then they take you around, there's about 25 people, hand stitching steering wheels, absolutely awesome. Fantastic. All the things we're really good at in this country. And looking around, awesome. And we said, that's my cousin on that second chair in there. Anyway, then we went out and part of the main, it's all changed, been updated now, I understand, with the back, the engine part of the factory. I was my colleague, Alan. I said, how long have you worked? He said, 2 days longer than him. We used to sit next to each other at school. And they've all, the family all worked there. I said, can I ask you a question? What did you think when Volkswagen bought it? He said, well, you can't sweet shit. So I thought, we're all going to lose our jobs. That's all going to go to Germany, blah, blah, blah. Nothing could be further from the truth. And had the same conversation with Rolls-Royce, owned by BMW. We all thought the same. It's all going to be lost. No, it's got to be built in the UK or in England for that Britishness that the world, other parts of the world love, and we love here. But what we have had since we've been part of the VW Audi Group is we've got the biggest research and development pool to call on. He said, and that's why they're so good. And that's the same with the Rolls. I've been fortunate. I've had a number over the last few years because that's my one weakness, as I say.
You got a Spectre? Is it Spectre?
I've had two Spectres. But great thing. I did say to the CEO that when I went to California, when I said we were in California 3 years ago for the launch of it, I'd give 50 grand more for it to have a V12 in it. And this is the way forward. Well, I think things have slightly changed. But anyway.
Who was it? Who did Mr. Bean? Rowan Atkinson. Didn't he?
He put a W16.
Basically the Bugatti engine.
Bugatti engine and a Bentley or a Rolls Royce, and a Rolls Royce, the only one in the world. He did. You're quite right.
Because they were going to do that, weren't they? They were going to do it, and then they.
When that V12 engine is just ridiculously good, and you can literally put a 50p coin on an edge and rev it up, and it doesn't move. It really doesn't. I've actually tried it, and it doesn't move. But so we've got the skills in this country to build stuff and to build it properly. We're talking about 2 high-level cars here, and I'm not trying to be arrogant in this part of the conversation, but we never put the investment in. And it's no different to this business. You asked about this. Every penny that we earn goes back into this business. Because it's for the long term. Unfortunately,
I can see that.
Honestly, and it's not. I'm fortunate. I draw a wage to pay my electric bill at home and my water bill, my household bills. That's it. But and I'm in that fortunate position. okay? But the whole thing is about building a business that's long-term and sustainable. It's not about me. It's not about just about Jake. It's about grandchildren. And it's also not just about the family. It's about the people we employ. The people I described earlier, the inner circle of trust.
Yeah.
You know, the people who have made hung the hat on Tru7, the Tru7 family, we call it internally. You know, we want to be a long-term part of this. So I have a responsibility personally. Jake feels a very heavy responsibility. You know, things are crap. We've got to pay these people every Friday or every month. You know, we got 300 odd families we got to worry about. It's not just about us. And I might say people know that's a load of bollocks. You're just a greedy businessman. It's not about that at all.
No.
If you look at the books, I don't take anything out of it. You know, other people I know in business take millions out every year. Not interested. It's all about building up something. So we try and set the standards in our industry. We did it with telehandlers years ago. We're the first to have aircon on. We're the first to have chassis level on. We're the first to have hydraulic fork position on to separate ourselves from the national hire companies, who they'd be slightly cheaper than us at the time, although we were very competitive. We had to be, of course, but their service was shit because there's nobody who gives a shit, put it bluntly. I always say to people, here's my number, there's a meeting, just nice to meet you, here's my card. If you've got a problem in our business, you're not happy, you phone me. My phone's never off. I'm like arkwright till I don't close. I don't care if you phone me on a Sunday night. Unless I'm on my deathbed, I'm answering. I also do have a little joke, and I said, my phone's never off except for 30 seconds every Tuesday once a fortnight when I get my leg over. No, that's 20 seconds now. I don't smoke anymore. But no, it's all about this. You know, we actually do give a shit about the people who work here, the people that care about us, I hasten to add. The transient ones, I couldn't give a fuck about them. They don't care about us. I shouldn't say that, but that's how it is. Piss on his own father. And Jake said, you say to me, stop coming about a roll of, you know, people, these people, they all think they're earning us a fortune. You know, we've got a business here, we're earning 2% margin. I said, Jake, why are we bothering? But this is what we do. We hope for better times to come.
Now, Talkin Shop wouldn't be possible without our title sponsor, Eclipse Diagnostics. If you work on commercial vehicles, vessels or machinery, you need Jaltest, the UK's leading multi-brand diagnostic tool from Eclipse. Plug it in, run a scan, and you'll get the OEM fault code, the components linked to the issue, and a clear step-by-step guide to fix it. No head scratching, just results. And it's not limited to one or two brands. Jaltest covers all manufacturers and models. So whatever rolls, sails, or shows up at your door, you're covered. It also goes beyond diagnostics with dealer-level functionality, ECU programming, calibrations, DPF regens, and loads more. Plus a huge library of wiring diagrams, repair manuals, and OEM technical data. Tightening torques, reference measurements, the lot. So you can get the job done right first time. With Eclipse, you're backed by world-class technical support when you need it most. Inquire today and quote code Talkin Shop to get a free cable saver with your diagnostic order. Training at your premises also included. Thanks, Eclipse. Now back to the show. Yeah. Do you think because that's the thing with the industry, one of our topics was, you look at the landscape now, and it's not just this industry, everything's extortionate, but you've got obviously what's going on with Iran and the US at the minute, forcing diesel oil to go up. You were mentioning it's already paper thin margins in this industry,
ridiculous.
But it's so expensive to do it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Well, the fuel's gone up 45-50%. I was talking to a friend of mine who until very recently owned the largest haulage company in the UK. Everybody talks about Stobart. He was big in Stobart. Stobart's never earned any money. His business did. It was sold to MSC, Metal and Chem Company. And he still runs the haulage arm for him. He said, about 1 million litres of diesel a week. It cost 450 grand more last week than it did before this started.
When you put it into,
450, that's 45% more.
Wow.
And buying the level they buy, 1 million litres a week.
That's your profit gone.
That's it.
No, it's not 45%. The haulage industry, they have a good year. They work on a 1.5% margin.
Jesus.
But they're turning over masses of money.
Yeah.
And this bloke's a super clever guy. He's Jake's neighbour, funny. I've been friends with him for 30 years. Very clever. Love having a conversation. Always learn something. That's just a simple thing. You talk to somebody clever, you'll learn something. You talk to a twat, you might as well walk away. You'll learn nothing, are you?
Yeah.
This might be a bit of a double-ended question, but I suppose what made you sell Fort Rent, and then what made you want to start again? The true story of that is my sister, who I was in partnership with, she owned 50%, I owned 50%.
I'm 63 next week. She's 66 next week. 3 years older than me. She's not been married. She hasn't got kids. Okay. Jake was doing the World Motocross Championship at the time. He wasn't interested in that business. He wouldn't even fill his motor home up with diesel in the yard. He hated it.
Really?
And so I said, what's going to happen? And my sister, I love her to bits, and she was a great partner. I wouldn't have changed anything. She deserved her 50% when we sold her. But that was like, it was a one-man show. I was doing a thing, everybody's saying, with the last 2 companies we bought, I didn't even tell her until afterwards. I remember saying, well, it'd be nice to be in fucking arse, wouldn't it? I said, what, so you can think of 10,000 reasons not to do it? That's done.
Yeah.
We're going to miss the boat here, otherwise.
Yeah.
And in the end, she was worried. She said, what's going to happen if something happens to you? Because she couldn't make her mind up by a boxer toilet rolls. I've said it before, and it's not being derogatory about her. It isn't her thing. She wouldn't know if she paid too much or too little. And she couldn't have a something either. You know, that's my... I've got a very small skill level, but that's the only one I'm any good at. And just all happened by chance. And somebody came along and fell in love with it. And they paid a load of money for it. See you later. Best thing I've ever done. Gave me a chance to go off on my own. Not because I had a problem with my sister, Julie had no problem at all. But to do things exactly how I want them, we already own this. So we started with 3 shipping containers over there as offices. Mini Mobile, I think they called a rental company. And there was nothing here. But you know, and just always want to have a nice yard. Yeah. And if you look at other buildings, it's got a balcony on it. Do you know why a balcony's on there? Because I smoked at the time. When they stopped you smoking, obviously I thought, well, at least I didn't have a fag and kicking on if it wasn't
Like it. I like it. It makes it great.
But no, that's the only reason it got sold. It's a great question, and that's a truthful answer.
Yeah.
And we were just lucky, really. Somebody came along and fell in love with it, and who had the access to the American fund part, 85% of it. And that's the best thing personally I've done in my life. But business-wise, because it just gave us a clean sheet of paper to start again.
Yeah. What's the biggest hard lesson or biggest mistake you've made in business?
Oh, we're not going to be here long enough to talk about the mistakes I've made. Oh God, that's a good question.
But every successful person's made a shitload of mistakes.
Every day. When I argue with Mister, somebody said that, I said, I made a mistake marrying her 37 years ago. 38 years ago this year. God, I don't know, I make them every day. Yeah. I say things to people without thinking sometimes because I shoot from the hip.
Yeah. What do you think?
I just had a row with a sweeper driver in the yard the other day. I'm driving around, normally driving around with a pickup. Yeah. Keep an eye on things. Jake's in here and he's doing what he does, gets up in the morning, goes to site and sees projects and bits and pieces. And so I spent all day driving around there. We had a bit of an argument about it a few weeks ago. I said, well, hold on a minute. You want to think yourself lucky I'm still here doing this job, and nobody doing the job like me because I know this job, know every aspect of it. Sounds arrogant, but I've lived it and that's what I do.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What did the sweeper driver do? I can't remember what he said. Well, I thought about it. I've driven another couple of laps around the yard and I stopped them out. I said, pull up, man, can you? I said, I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that. I said, you know what I've done? I've taken that on you because we're doing shit. Mm-hmm. Is the truth of it? I said, no, I apologise. So that was a mistake. Yeah. And I do things like that. But you know what? Without sitting here trying to be Mr. Perfect, which I'm far from, I can apologise when I'm wrong. Yeah. I think I've sometimes wait in the morning, 1 o'clock, I'll have a piss. Why did I do that? And then the first thing I do, I'll message somebody in the morning, give us a ring since you're up and about. Yeah. Sorry about it, I shouldn't have done that. That's twat.
Yeah.
And you have to better.
But you'll get a lot of respect doing that.
I think so. And, you know, I don't shout at somebody in the office and then say sorry to them behind closed doors. I wouldn't in front of everybody else. You know, if somebody's, and I don't have a walk about shouting in the office. I'm exaggerating, but if somebody just says something stupid or does something, I'm saying, fuck idiot or whatever, I'd apologise to them in front of people as well.
Yeah.
Because that's all very well, you know, gobbing off in front of people, but you've got to, if you're going to reverse out of it or go sideways, you've got to do it in front of people as well so you can see it. I'm not perfect. I'm a million miles off perfect. But, and that's probably the biggest mistake. I'm losing my temper, you know, and I'm not an aggressive person. I'm aggressive in business because you have to be.
Passionate.
Passionate, thank you. Yeah, more than aggressive. Yeah. But I'm just thinking, why do you do that?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that would be I think it's probably the work, but I do that on a daily basis. I would not pay for every time I had to say sorry for people, but yeah, that's it. And you live on,
a lot must get done if you're straight.
Keep trying, you know, I can't put up with lazy people.
Yeah.
I cannot put up with it. You know, Jake's a great advocate for, and he's brought us in of apprentices. I think we've got 40, I think he said to me at the weekend.
40 apprentices?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow, funny idea.
Which I think the big companies, like when they talk about corporate social responsibility, like you'd have 5% of your workforce. We've got about 11 or 12%.
Yeah.
And most of them have been very good. There's a one not so good.
Yeah.
And when they're sloping about, I can't be doing what our tipper and concrete team were in the first floor of that building over there for a while. And they had this young guy who they'd taken on to help with the paperwork for the tippers. And I said, Jake, he's fucking useless. He walked in a knuckle drag, he walked along like he's half dead. So the guy was running, I said, he's fucking useless. Anyway, he must have spoken to Jason. He said, Dad, you can't be too hard on these people. Give them a chance. I said, I've got a very simple way. If you start off a twat, you end up a twat. And bear in mind, I'm very analog and very old-fashioned with my views. And sure enough, they had to find out themselves 2 months later, he's women hadn't any bills. He'd done the bills, got them wrong. And my daughter actually pointed out to me, said, do you realise he's had 4 days off in his first 2 weeks of work here? Yeah. Oh, his car's blown out. His alarm didn't go off.
He doesn't want to be here.
Give me exactly that. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
I can't be doing what people don't want to work.
No.
Simple as that.
There's no point asking you what the differences between young people nowadays and back in the day, because I think we all know the answer to that. But what's your biggest piece of advice to somebody young, getting out of education or thinking about going to further education or starting an apprentice?
As I said earlier, and you've asked me my views, doesn't make me right, and people will disagree with them, no doubt. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I went to private school, not one person went to university. They were all mainly their families' own business, all they were farmers, a lot of farmers and haulage people in this area because they're Felixstowe docks. There's a place for educated people, clearly, no question of that. But does everybody need a degree?
I take the piss out of sometimes. They've got sports degrees, I call it PE. And ultimately, when you ask them, why did you go to uni and do sports science or whatever, so I could play football for longer. Yeah.
I think, and I'm a very extreme person. We've now got so many young people up with mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking job. That'll help with mental health. But the problem is we've made it impossible or virtually impossible for people to employ young people because the minimum wage is so high.
Yeah.
And, I love fast food or McDonald's. My wife was in London the other day, a doctor's appointment. I thought, I'll come get a Big Mac and chips. I'm in the drive-through, hell of a wait, supposed to be fast food.
Yeah.
And the old boy put my money, when you go in the corner, when you order, you give me a credit card or you pay. He was about my age. And you drive the next one when they hand you the food. This old guy's a bit older than me. I should be old for this. He said, well, they can't get any young people to do it anymore, can they? Swear to God. This is McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, how many people, nothing wrong with that, start of the lives working at McDonald's or a chip shop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've stopped it. They've killed it.
No, that's it. Exactly.
They've killed it.
Yeah.
But, what's the advice? Is to work hard. Nobody's going to give you anything in this life. Unless you want to spend your life on the social, you're going to be giving stuff every day of your life. But you'll have no self-fulfillment.
No.
Unless you get self-fulfillment about being overweight and sitting and watching telly all day long and eating shit food.
Yeah.
We asked about business earlier on, and I didn't say it. I feel really sorry for people like people who've got hairdressing shops or restaurants or like small privately owned sandwich shops.
Yeah.
They can't get anybody to work from. The business rates keep going up. Their bills they're earning nothing. A friend of ours, an intelligent woman, she's married to a big farmer. We've been friends literally since we were young kids. And my wife went to her daughter, who's about Jake's age, she'll be 35. They've all grown up together. She's got the most wonderful cafe restaurant on part of the farm where they've got some lovely out offices have built these units. My wife went there with my daughter. She's just absolutely beautiful. There's a queue of people to get in there. And then the girl who owned it said, it took us 6 years before we made a profit. Last year was our first year made a profit. Bear in mind, they've got people queuing to get in this place, good quality food, not fast food, good quality food. We're losing a fortune at the moment.
Oh, dear.
Makes no sense, does it?
Yeah.
That's not fair on people.
No.
There'll be nothing left in a minute apart from chains of McDonald's and the whole country eats shit food every day.
That's what
and like I said, I'm the first to admit I love a burger.
Yeah.
You just can't eat healthy in general.
No.
You go to a services and it's McDonald's,
Rubbish.
KFC. It's
just crap.
Yeah, that's what I love about Italy and
Good
still
food.
parts of France as well.
Exactly that.
They won't eat it.
No, they won't.
There's McDonald's in Italy. Nowhere near the amount of over here. They won't touch it.
There are three restaurants that my wife and I go. We don't too old to go out tonight now. We go for Saturday lunchtime and Sunday lunchtime. And one of them's an Italian, probably an Italian restaurant. And ironically, the two chefs are from the middle of Suffolk.
Yeah.
Whereas the dialect, you struggle to understand. It's just how it is. But the quality of food is just unbelievable. It's all, you can only have, they change the menu every month. You can only get what's in season now. It's all they cook.
Yeah.
And the food is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
There's 2 other restaurants we go to the same thing.
Yeah.
And we went to one and it said, there's a duck leg with leeks from the next field. You can see out the window.
That's it. That's where they come from.
Important potatoes from Poland. Remember? Oh, we're saving the planet. Let's kill British agriculture all around her. It's a 1,000-mile journey burning up diesel. Oh, and if it's pork, it's in a fridge box with a Kubota engine revving its bollocks off all the way over here. Burning another tank of diesel.
Yeah.
And that's saving the planet.
Yeah, nice bonkers.
Sorry, I don't see it. Perhaps I'm a bit too old-fashioned or a bit too sensible. I don't get it.
No. Yeah.
And then what we're doing around here now is putting swathes of solar panels on some of the best agricultural land in the country.
Yeah.
It's a disgrace.
Yeah, all winter.
I was actually, I went to this reform rally the other night and we were asked to go in for drinks and canapes afterwards. And one of my friends is a farmer. And they were talking about this 200-acre solar farm, the place is quite near where Jake lives, lovely little village. A beautiful Suffolk village. I said, is that your land? He said, that's my brother's. I said, you should be ashamed of himself. I said, you're supposed to be fucking farmers. And I thought, I don't give a shit, I'll fall out with you, because that's exactly what I feel.
Yeah.
And okay, that's like the farmers are having a very tough. Let's make no secret of that.
Yeah.
But it's a cycle in time. Hopefully the people with brains will get in power one day and it will change.
Yeah. All the villages near me have all got stop industrial solar signs outside their houses on all the lampposts.
Yeah.
Jake and I were invited to go on a partridge shoot last September by the lady who owns a large Kubota dealer in the country. Anyway, we went there, beautiful park, just past Berwick, only just into Scotland. And they built this massive, a real pretty village for Scotland. I don't think their village is necessarily pretty. Normally the colour of the stone is quite dour for me. But this was a beautiful little village. And as you come out, it's got the biggest fucking solar farm you've ever seen. And it's actually beautiful countryside.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Well,
sorry, but it is a joke.
It is. It absolutely is. And I admire you for speaking your mind, because a lot of people don't do that now.
Well, I'll get shot down, I'll get hated, and I'll get a bollocking off Jake about it. But do you know what? It's an interview about me, not about the business.
Yeah.
Not about me. You're asking me. You're asking me questions. This is how I feel about the country we're in now. And it's not irreversible, but we need to get it in reverse fairly fucking quick.
Yeah, we've got
we're going down a pan.
We've got a very, very similar mindset to yourself.
My wife and I got robbed while we were in our house the last Saturday of November, 6:30 on a Saturday tea time. We're watching, is it Qatar, the one before last Formula One? And I said, in our orange glass around it, I said, put the cameras on. We've got the shutters open, put the cameras on, dogs going mad. So a fucking bloke stood there about 30 feet from where I'm sitting, phoned the police, took them 45 minutes. The roundabout you came past is 4 minutes from where I live, where you turn left to get here, 45 minutes to get there.
That's a joke.
And they were useless.
Yeah.
3 of them. 2 of them went, I didn't know then, went upstairs, don't know why, went into our bedroom, they'd been in the bedroom, been to the house.
And you're in the house, John.
But then when you see on the news this week, 92% of burglaries don't get solved.
What did they take? Did they take anything?
Took the watch. Didn't have much. Sold most of my watches after COVID when everything was making a fortune. I just thought it was a waste of time having. I never wear a watch anymore.
Everything's for sale, isn't it?
Everything. Well, exactly. And I had a good profit on a friend of mine really wanted them. Yeah. Lovely, you haven't.
Yeah.
And I've never replaced them. The one they nicked.
Yeah.
You ain't got a watch anymore.
Yeah.
They nicked the only watch I had.
Yeah.
But not worth having. You put a target on yourself. Sold 2 of my cars. My wife said, it's you with your cars, this ain't them stolen. You drive a Porsche, get rid of your Porsche then. I'll give you a Fiesta. So that's the whole conversation changed pretty quick then. But although she drives a Defender most of the time, which she prefers to a Porsche, I think. But anyway.
What Porsche you got?
Turbo S.
Turbo S.
Very nice.
She prefers the Defender.
Defender Opta.
Nice.
You drink my leather?
No.
Oh my God.
Opta's unbelievable.
I've only ever
It's got
driven
an M5 engine in it.
Yeah.
And it's got a similar suspension to a McLaren. It doesn't mean going in the corners.
Oh, fair enough.
I always think, we argue about I always have a ride out on Sunday morning on my own to a lovely place in Suffolk called Orford. It's so backward, not backward, it hasn't been spoiled. It's like going there 50 years ago, it's still the same. And I normally have an hour to go. If I go with a friend, go to this bakery and get coffee and just sit next to the water, and this shows you how mental I am. If that's pissing down with rain and blowing a gale, the place has got its own beauty, the same as it has the same beauty, but from a different angle. When it's beautiful and the water is flat and people are going out in the speed boats or the fishing boats or whatever. And we argue about who's going to take this Octa on a Sunday morning now. Oh, when I got this new Range Rover last July, she said, "Just go on your Range Rover. You keep telling me how good that fucking thing is." So we argue about who's going to drive this Octa. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's like an old man sports car. That's what I call it. I'm getting an out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What's your favourite car? What's the best car you've ever bought?
It changes. One time, and this sounds really arrogant, I had 4 different models of Rolls Royces, and I was asked that question quite a bit. Which one's your favourite? It's the last one I drove.
Yeah.
They're all brilliant.
Yeah.
They all drive definitely. Oh, this Range Rover, I think that's fantastic. Diesel Range Rover, absolutely unbelievable. I love this thing. I've got my pickup. I love that. I wish I had more time to drive my vehicles because I never go anywhere. I don't leave it. I would live the rest of my life without going over that bridge you came over, the Orwell Bridge. I like it where I live around here, but I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I just love vehicles.
Yeah.
And that pickup is awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely great.
Yeah.
I drove a new Transit van the other day, a brand new Transit. I can't believe how good are they nowadays?
Yeah.
Have you got one? Who's that? Is that yours?
That's mine. Yeah.
How good are they?
Oh, they're another
Christ, when I was a kid, when I was
level.
racing quads years ago, when they first came out, and 3-wheelers before them, you'd be in a diesel Transit, you'd be going deaf when it was flat out at 65 miles like this. They are so good.
I've slightly cheated because I've gone for the Volkswagen badged Transit this time. It's a T7. Well, T7.
What is it? A Volkswagen or a Ford?
It's a Volkswagen, but it's basically a Transit.
It is a Transit.
Yeah, that's it.
But you know what? They're made the same factory, of course, but they're absolutely unbelievably good.
Oh, they are. They are absolutely
So good.
Yeah.
So good. So my favourite vehicle is whatever the mood I'm in, really. And I know it sounds like I'm being a really big-headed brat, but I just love vehicles.
Yeah.
I drove a Scania Tipper the other day, just out. I thought, do you know, I've driven a truck over for ages. Just drove it. There's another dual carriage around about 5-6 mile range journey. How cool. I'd love to have driven a lorry like this when I was young.
Yeah.
But they were shite.
Yeah.
You know,
Imagine,
old tin cab Ford Cargos. I remember when I was 18, my dad bought me, we used to go to the auction and buy a load of vans. And he said, "Isn't that new lorry, the Ford that's coming out?" It was a Ford D Series 4, which has been out since the 60s. You'll have the first one, Ipswich boy, don't worry about that. Well, he did. He bought me the first one, had a little beaver tail body on it. It was a 4-cylinder, 4-speed with no power steering. He did a 6-cylinder. He said, "That's plenty fucking quick enough for you." You put in a trailer belt on the back, you put 2 diesel Transits on it, and you'd be going up the hill flat out in third, doing 33 mile an hour because you couldn't change it, it just died.
Yeah.
But there's progress. Isn't it?
How things have
That's
changed.
so good.
Yeah.
So good.
If you
The
like
electric vehicles, I've just driven a really impressive vehicle this morning. The new, just before I met you, the new BMW iX3 electric car that's now become electric, has now become a serious prospect. It's got 510 or 520 mile real range. Oh my God, what a great vehicle.
Yeah.
What a fantastic vehicle.
BM, what can you say?
Honestly, no, he showed me pictures. Have you seen the new 3 Series that's coming out?
No, I've got
You can
it.
Google that in a little while.
Yeah.
You can order them from the first master. Just order me the best one they do.
Big grills on it. Like big.
It's
long
so cool. It's very
grills.
retro looking.
Yeah.
But bang up modern.
Okay.
Oh my God, what a fantastic vehicle. That's electric. So I like the electric Rolls Royce. When I prefer
Which makes
V12.
sense, by the way. Yeah.
But it does for me because I plug in at home. It works like that. If you can plug in at home. And I watched a lot of YouTube now, and there was a What car, I think it was, did a test last week, the week before, a V8 Bentley Bentayga SUV, 4-wheel drive, versus a Rolls-Royce electric Spectre. And the first thing they said, look, they're not like for like. This is not what it's about. We can do a little mini test on both things, but really the thing is we can do the same journey and see what the experience is of owning an electric vehicle as opposed to a petrol vehicle.
Yeah.
How great but they're both fantastic vehicles, by the way, and that's what they said. It cost 54 quid more to charge the Rolls Royce up than they did to refuel the Bentley on the same journey. You watch it on YouTube, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
See, this is another thing. So we've got all these hyped up fuel prices. How can people charge an Octa about 8 or 10p a minute at night, and yet you pay 85 or 90p for fast charging and these stations like this one up the road here?
Yeah.
You know, thank God they are there, I guess, but it doesn't work.
No.
With, when they expect you to plug it in at home, charges up, full tank of petrol, electric, and it's on. Lovely. I don't go anywhere, like I said earlier. But I want to drive me to Cornwall. What does it say? If you were going to the south of France, you'd have to recharge 6 times.
Yeah.
Just
It's not going to work, is it?
No, of course it's not.
But these BMWs, 500 mile plus, all of a sudden that's getting a bit more serious. You could go and do it. You could drive to Bristol and go and do a bit of business and come back the same day and could charge overnight if you've got a facility at home. If you live in a street in London, you've got to go for expensive electricity, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, we've got electric charging points. We've got a number of electric cars here. Do I necessarily agree with that? I think the reason the electric cars have been so popular because the company car tax, when they're changing that, now we've got to pay per mile. You know, then was it 11 or 12 quid a day congestion charge? Hold on, I thought we were trying to save the planet here, and now you're going to charge us for going in even got an electric car.
Yeah.
Just shows that there's no joined up thinking at all, is it?
It's not. It's to do with control, not the planet.
And then exact control, exactly that.
Yeah.
You know, what did I read? The government spent £3 billion last summer on paying people who own solar farms and wind farms because for the electricity we haven't taken because the grid's not an open source. Well, surely it's like building a house or a building. You do your footings first, don't you?
Of course
so
you
you
do.
sort your grid out first
yeah.
and then start bringing stuff into it. A friend of mine said this to me years ago. You know, it's like building a town where they put a motorway between them.
Yeah.
You know, you build the motorway first.
Yeah, of course you do.
We almost need business people to become politicians, or business people learn how to become a politician, not a politician trying to learn business. And
they don't learn business. This is the problem. Most of the I don't think any of the current cabinet have ever had a job, have they? Outside you know, working for the public sector.
Which is dangerous in itself, by the way.
Absolutely. Well, they're spending other people's money, aren't they? And there's no control. When you spend your own money, you think about it, don't you?
Yeah.
When I went to this reform thing, chap said, "Would you be interested in that?" I said, "Listen, I've got a job. I've got a business to try and run." So when my son has run that, I said, "Well, I'm still a little part of it, and that's what I do." So then I got asked by the party chairman, "Would I be interested in advising on industry in this area?" I said, 100%, because that's exactly what you need, and they recognise exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
So therefore, they've got to be the sensible thing.
Just quickly on the cars, I've seen a lot of Taycan. I'm a massive Porsche fan. We are, aren't we? Massive Porsche fans. But the Taycans, obviously, they were losing loads of money, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't sound like you to go and buy some Taycans.
I bought them very cheap when they were new.
Okay, right.
Very cheap at the time. That BMW makes a Porsche look shit.
Oh, really?
It's a different. It's not just one level. That's two levels in front of a Porsche electric.
Really?
It is unreal. And they're not even silly money for what they are.
No.
500-mile range one, which is it's called an M Sport Plus, got everything in it. I think it was 62 or $3,000, which is a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
But for those things listed about 130 grand, those poxy Taycans.
Yeah.
What's the Boxster called now? It's called a 918 or 718?
718 Box GTS.
The electric version of that, because the new model was going to be, that and the cane was only be electric, been canned.
Yeah. Oh, they canned it completely?
Oh,
right. Okay.
And the manufacturers in Europe are reversing out EVs for scale. What did, that was published last week on it. The car manufacturers had to write 65 billion euros last year.
Porsche lost VW a fortune, didn't they?
Oh, they've finished. That's finished that completely.
Yeah.
They've still been, no, it hasn't finished it. It's damaged it. Their profit margin was massive on Porsche. I think it was down to 1% last year.
Yeah. They've been like the coolest brand in the year, voted the coolest brand in the year for however many years running.
They actually, it was a weird thing happened a number of years ago when Porsche bought there was a big swathe of VW Group shares coming to market, and for about 3 days they were the largest car manufacturer in the world. It was Porsche. Then of course that all got reverted, and then it went back to Toyota, I guess.
Yeah.
But the whole thing's just a mess.
Yeah.
But there's no, we come up with legislation. Have you ever watched a thing on YouTube called Harry's Garage?
Yes.
Right. There's an interesting one this week about how much all the manufacturers have lost. He did one about 18 months ago when he said the politicians made legislation without talking to the clever people first.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Come up with all this bullshit legislation. This is what we can do. This is we're going to save the planet. We can do this, that, and the other. But they need to talk about what's achievable. So in America, I think they've come up with this thing called a range extender, where you've got a little engine that's running a generator the whole time. So you've got like 700-mile range from the fuel tank of that on the electric power. And I think possibly hybrid. But when the hybrids, I think a Range Rover does about 70 miles, so it makes it just right for the tax band. But then they put a tax up on them. The BMW got a 50 E50 or 50E X5, similar thing, just gets into that tax band. When they do 100 miles on electric, then you've got, if you've got a journey, you can fall back on petrol or diesel power, then they're a more realistic offer, aren't they? And I think it will come. Like these 500-mile range of these cars. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But then makes it, it's actually a sensible option.
Yeah.
There's the only electric cars that have been sold privately are cheap, nasty Chinese, or in the main Chinese cars. The rest of them are company cars.
Yeah.
And after the last budget, I actually said to RCF, I said, don't order any more electric cars. So why is that? I said, because they're now starting to put the tax up. And in a minute, the bloke said, well, I was going to pay a little bit extra tax now petrol. I said, who's left holding the baby with a load of cars ain't worth fuck all? We are.
Yeah. And electric cars as well. The problem with electric cars now, and any new technology that you're going to get involved in, if you want to have self-dependence. What's the word when you want to
be independent?
You want to be independent. You want to work on it yourself.
Oh, you can't work on anything now.
No,
you can't do anything.
No,
that's
the other thing with the EU. I said, the whole thing is an absolute joke. And people say, "Oh, Farage, he drove Brexit." He did. Thank God he did. And there was a lady speaking the other night who was part of that team, but her family are fishing people from Lowestoft, which was a big fishing place in Suffolk, the most eastern point of the UK. And she said, yeah, the only problem was the Conservatives didn't follow through with any of it. We're still in this, is it called this EHR or something, when we have a human rights thing? What's that doing to us?
I know.
Certain European countries are not. You go and look at videos on Poland. They don't have it. And they've published shit. But the same with the legislation. If it'd come out of it like we were supposed to, but what's the first thing given into the EU on fisheries? Gave into them on this, that, and else. So we've got all their rules, and now we've got another set of our rules on top.
So we've got no rewards from being part of it, so we left. But now we've got all the bullshit and no rewards at all.
I say, if we want to read, I saw it on YouTube, I don't read. I'm not patient enough to read, that's the problem. We're going to have to pay Europe 50 or 60 billion euros, so we're allowed to tender for defence contracts.
Yeah.
Well, get your fucking planes somewhere else then if you don't want our planes.
Yeah.
We should be making for ourselves.
Yeah.
There's enough other people in the country in the world got money.
Yep. None of this is going to change though whilst we have a ex-human rights lawyer running the country. So
what's that? David Lammy? No, doing away with jury trials.
Yep.
There was a brilliant thing on another YouTube thing, which obviously I quote YouTube all the time because I watch, where he was on like Mastermind or something like that.
Right.
And his answers, it was like a 3-year-old answering.
Yeah,
right. And this bloke's the Deputy Prime Minister.
That's scary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. So, but that is the scary thing now. The standards. Remember in the 90s or whatever, like the early 2000s, politicians would get a lot of flack, but they're decent politicians. Yeah. You might agree with them.
They can hold their own.
And they can hold their own. Yeah. These politicians now, they couldn't even do an interview.
But we were watching, my wife and I, she's actually got into it a bit as well, watching Prime Minister's Question Times. When Kemi Badenoch, who I've actually got to like more, the day after the budget, they only showed a clip on normal news. It was 16-minute real time in Parliament, pulling Rachel Reeves to bits, rightly so. And the jeering and carrying on and the interruptions from the Labour backbench MPs is just diminishing the quality of Parliament. And now you've got that silly girl who won the Denton and something in Manchester. She dresses like she's now going to, she's the presenter for CBB. I mean, what the hell is going on?
I know.
The slipping of standards is just a joke.
Yes. There's no order in there.
No.
It is like a playground. It is like a playground.
We've got what we've got. And I think, they're such a bad job, but they just make it easy for somebody to look good in the future, hopefully, if they get enough votes to get in.
Fingers crossed.
Because it's a great country still.
Yeah.
And as much as I've moaned about it, the politics and how the politics are driven us, and the Conservatives did us no good, and I've always voted Conservative, but I would never vote for them again now, the damage they've done to this country. But Labour are just exaggerated, haven't they?
They've just
let's see how much we can give away to layabouts.
Yeah,
that's it.
How you can encourage people to generate? They say, there's no thinking. If there's no people paying tax, who's paying for the layabouts?
Yeah.
Yep.
Pips. What's it? You can have one if you go to doctors now and say you're stressed.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have a week off and sort yourself out and get back to work. Then I watched something last night about they want extended paternity leave. Who do they think is paying for this? I mean, what, do they get a week off now, something like that? I always said to my brother, you want a week off, you just had a baby. I said, it's just when you want to stay away from me. I can't even stay with it. They've got a face like a bulldog licking piss off a thistle, the most ill-tempered they're ever going to be in life. And you want to be at home with them?
Yeah.
Let the mother-in-law do that. Now they're all about, we want to give them months so they can, be part of the family.
Crazy.
Yeah. There you go. That's the most right-wing and opinionated interview you'll ever do.
No, I think...
I admire you for it, because I think...
Well, I just, like I say, I'll get shot down in flames. No doubt I'll upset Jake, someone I've said, and other people. But the business is one thing. This is about my opinion.
This is...
And I grew up in when Britain was great. This thing I mentioned earlier on, they want to green areas in the council and spend millions on this in Ipswich. Weeds everywhere. And I said this to another guy, and he sent me this picture of floral Ipswich. My dad used to sponsor it. Be flowers on every roundabouts, hanging baskets. The place looked a picture. It looks like a third world country now.
I know.
Yeah.
And they spent £1.5 million Ipswich Borough Council on this giant chrome almost like a polo mint. It's got a screen apparently. You can't speak to them, but you can see people from all over the world.
Yeah.
The fuck do you do that for? You got to walk through the town centre, you can see everybody from all around the way.
Very true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said to you, I'm not racist. I don't care what colour you are. You're a good old boy. You're a twat. Putting it in my terms. But we're important. We're not. Even our chap, our CFO, he said, you're wrong. There's lots of good people coming over on those boats. If they were good people, they were doctors and they had teachers. Why do they throw all their credentials away before they get in?
Of course.
If you're a doctor or a teacher, you'll say, well, you better let me in. I'm a doctor. Look.
Yeah.
They're not doctors and teachers. They come from fucking robbers. Now with an easy ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's the latest thing that stupid woman came out with? We're going to give them £40,000 to go when we deport them.
To go.
Oh, that'll really stop them coming in, won't it?
So
Come in, don't like it.
Yeah. If you leave, they'll give you 40,000 basically to Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if I was, I'd be ordering so many high, maximum seat planes possible to ship them straight back where they came from.
Yeah.
They're making the place dangerous.
Or have the Navy in the Channel Islands. That's, where is our Navy?
Well, there's another interesting thing. Watching this, one of these 10-minute videos of Jacob Rees-Mogg, shortly after all this came up about we can't send that ship. And he came up with 12 of our naval ships, destroyers or aircraft carriers. Some of them have been in for service for over 1,000 days.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Over 3 years.
Yeah.
What?
How the fuck?
You want to see where the border
So it's not
patrol
necessarily the
boats are.
politicians.
Yeah.
It's the MOD need looking at.
Yeah.
The money those guys waste. Listen, I'm very friendly with quite a number of guys who are in the paras. They lost their lives, and they've seen friends lose lives. And a chap where I go to the gym, as you can see, I only go occasionally. Jake's mid-30s, lovely guy, went out there 4 or 5 times. One of the guys who comes there, he's got both legs missed, he's got metal rockers with rubber thing. He's climbed, is it Scarborough Fowl up and thing? I've got videos on my phone of him, this bloke with no legs climbing it, because he's determined to do it.
Yeah.
These guys served us, and the guy from the gym was saying, bought a house, there's a new development quite near us, bought the smallest house there. He said, I've been there about 3 months, he got an house, he's lovely. He said, I've got 3 Afghanis living opposite me now, don't go to work. He said, I was being paid to kill those fuckers not long ago, now we're giving them a house.
Yeah. Yeah, because we feel bad for
How the
them.
tables turn, eh?
Yeah. Border Patrol, by the way, we're still saying about the Navy. I've been to a few customers who work with the Border Patrol and work on Border Patrol boats. Oh, they're all parked up, by the way. And I love the fact that we're going through what is essentially like a little bit of a crisis, and they're all parked up.
We had a big
Too expensive to operate, by
a
the
couple
way.
of summers ago, we had a big demolition job on Dover docks, but for many parts, it wasn't one big building or anything. And I said to the chap, I'd like to come down here with you one day and have a look. He said, I'm not taking it. He said, before you can say, I know you can go, it's your business. He said, I want to tell you because you have a heart attack. You should see them coming in. There's brand spanking new coaches. There's a lot of almost like a visitor centre. They go in. These coaches take them straight off. He said, just boil your fucking piss.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Golf resorts, hotels,
God.
yeah, full of asylum
Do you know what?
seekers.
The chap I think had the best morals I've seen on TV. He owns a hotel in, I'm going to say Devon or Cornwall, called Camelot Castle. You Google it, it's fact. He was on TV. He was offered twice what full.
Oh, yeah.
If the place was full, the government offered him twice to fill it up. He said, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
He says, been in my family for a number of years. We employ people from all the villages around it. All it's going to do is destroy the law and order and the what is these villages. And I think it's in Cornwall. You Google it. It's a true story.
Yeah. He said no.
Thank God somebody's got some morals in this country.
Couple of quick, rapid fire questions as a finish up. What business or who do you admire in your industry, apart from Lord Bamford, obviously? And
In our
who's
industry,
one company or doing it right? Who are you looking at the minute thinking, do you know what, they're bloody good?
I think companies like MJ Church. That's a second generation business. We know Tom Church through motocross is a bit older than Jake. His father's a very hard working man. Started, I think if I'm right, my church started selling firewood, literally.
Yeah, we've been there.
Right. And Tom's taken over. And a bit like Jake, my band is this, Jake's is this. We brought some really clever people in and the business has thrived. Great professional business. That'd probably be the privately owned business. Another one is Collins Earthworks. Unfortunately, Dave Collins is no longer with us. Great guy. A really grounded, hard-working man who achieved a fantastic achievement in a short period of time, 22 2 or 3 years, I think. That's a travesty. It just shows there's no God. If not, that poor bugger would have got cancer because he wasn't a very old man.
Yeah.
Those two, I think.
Yeah.
The first of them was MJ Church, definitely very super professional. We're talking about privately owned business here. You know, you look at other business like Balfour Beatty, that's changed governance over the years. The last chap who's in charge just took it right up. You know, another as a foreign company or foreign-owned company, but operated by the top man there, Volkers.
Yeah.
He's a local guy, actually.
Volker Ground, Volker Rail.
All of them. He's in charge of all of them. Great guy, Richard Offord. You know, for the bigger companies I know in person, I can't speak for the people who are in charge of Balfour's, but you look at their figures. I met the last chap who was in charge in Monaco last year, but he's since retired. But, you know, not going to say even big multinational companies, whatever you want to call it, you need great leadership. If you've got a crap leader, the company's crap because it starts at the top and it works down. But it also starts at the bottom and works up as well.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I would say of the two, my knee-jerk reaction would be MJ Church and Collins Earthworks.
Great.
Very professional.
Yeah.
What's one trait every entrepreneur needs?
Keep working. I don't, you know, I'm a weirdo. I said it from the start. I'm a very strange person. Why would you want to retire if you enjoy what you do? If you want to have a day off, play golf, if you play golf or whatever you want to do, or you want to have a few days off, go and have a few days off and get back to work.
Sure.
You know? What? I don't know. I'm a strange character.
Get to work.
Get to bloody work.
That's it. No,
Get some work
that's
done.
it.
And my father always said recently, he said, you got to know your job and you got to work twice as hard as the bloke stood next to you. And you've got to keep doing it. And I get loads of people send me messages on Instagram. I'm not trying to big myself up, by the way. What's the secret to success? Is fucking know your job and but don't stop working. As soon as somebody's earned £1, they think, oh well, I'll get a manager up. We'll buy a place in Spain. We'll spend a summer down there.
Yeah.
How the fuck can you run your business when you're in Spain?
Yeah.
Go to Spain for a week or 2 weeks like everybody else does.
Yeah.
If you do that, you got to be there.
Yeah.
You know, this business is thriving through the modern views, like I said to Tom Church as well. I don't know, Jake's 36 next week, this Saturday. So I'm guessing Tom's 39, 40. Brain that works in the modern era, putting up with but also making the things that I think are a load of hassle, use them to their advantage. You know, okay, we'll have all the machines with every latest safety thing on. You know, hats off to these young people. I'm an old dinosaur of the industry, but things have changed, haven't they? So you have to move on. And I take my hat off to these young people, but you've got to keep working at it.
Yep.
You know, you can't stop.
Yeah.
Why would you stop? If you want to stop, you fail.
Yeah.
That's a bit like if you don't strive to move forward in business, the world's moving forward. So if you stand still, you're going backwards.
Yeah.
You've got to keep at it.
If a business ain't growing, it's
Fortunately,
dying.
Jake's got a great work ethic. His sister doesn't work here, but I haven't mentioned her much. She's a big part of it, in as much as she chased the money. She's been doing it 2 years, and our debt over 60 days is minuscule compared to what it was.
Yeah.
Because she won't put up with any bullshit chasing money in.
Yeah.
She's on it. So, you know, they don't necessarily get on great. They're getting better as they get older. I think they've both got kids and realise, you know, this is how it works. But she's a great part of this business as well. We've got a great team of people here as well. Jake's found built up a great team of people as well. You can't start a one-man show. You cannot do it on your own. If you're doing something on your own, you've got a burger van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For example, there's nothing wrong with people who've got burger vans either, by the way, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you want to build up a business where you're offering, you're doing multiple things. You've got to have a team of people.
Yeah.
But
Build
you've
a
got to have
dream.
the right people and motivate the right people. When you've got the wrong people, you can motivate them all you want. They ain't fucking doing no good for you. You want a business. And the whole thing as well is looking at things in the long term. We live in a world now, everybody wants to be a millionaire by Christmas. Watched him with bullshit on TV.
Yeah.
10 years ago, it was footballers were the thing. And I don't know what it is now, if TikTok was or something, that's the latest bullshit, isn't it? Or whatever it is. You want to, some that, and hats off to people who've earned tens of millions out of doing stuff like that, and people with brains who invented some, you know, the latest high-tech thing, whatever it may be, that everybody buys into and needs. But for ordinary people like us, you got to graft.
Yeah.
You have. Yep.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Listen, your boys, what time did you set off today?
We started 5:30.
Yeah, lovely. I'm sure you want to do that every day, but you don't.
Yeah, we
Especially
did.
to come all this way and talk to a twat like that.
No. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. But like, I'm a very narrow-minded person. You know, that's how I was brought up. Drummed and work.
Yeah.
That's it.
When I was a kid, I did say on this other video that I did with Barb, who works for us, I remember Mum said, we've got to take these kids on holiday. You know what my dad said? Holidays are things other people have. I swear to God, that's true. We had 2 family holidays. That was it. They were both a disaster, so I don't know. That's probably another reason.
No wonder you never want to go on holiday.
No, I think 3 or 4 days is about my limit of being away from home.
Yeah.
Miss my family, miss my dogs, miss my home, miss work.
Yeah.
Got my second family's here. Spend most of my time with them, don't I? Spend more time with these guys here and the girls than I do with my wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not necessarily. No. Yeah, so you've got to enjoy it. I'm very lucky. And, I'm the first to admit I'm a lucky person. You have to take the opportunities that come in life, don't you, and make the most of them.
Yeah.
But the same thing, you start doing with a good company, everybody wants to get greedy and fuck it up. No, keep on a little bit, but keep doing it, doing it. Then you find another one, and you got multi-layers of people you're dealing with. I've lived and worked through 2 recessions, and we've grown both recessions, late 80s, 08, after that. We've grown, our business has grown dramatically, because we already had this core of companies, people we've dealt with, we've looked after, and because in this country, as soon as you earn a quid, you've robbed somebody to do it. Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to earn any money. Not business people don't think that, by the way, but people who aren't in business mostly. You just got to keep going and be right, be honourable. Yeah, that's as simple as that. Yeah, there's no silver bullet to it. I don't think. No, just got to keep at it. Yeah, and do your best. Yeah, and keep trying to be better than the companies, your competitors, which is what we try and do.
Roll your sleeves up.
Roll your sleeves up. You must have seen it. I've about 6 weeks. Really, I was in a bad place after the 08 crash. Just put a load of machines on finance. My sister and I were buying our brother out, who's a druggy piece of shit. Buying him out, just done a deal with Barrett Hose, put a load of telehandlers on hire. Yeah, we'll do the whole country. 350 telehandlers on finance. Didn't have finance till then. All done. It's all gone wrong. Fucked it all up. And then one night, sat in the kitchen, had 1 or 2 too many gins and probably smoked 15 fags after 10. What Dad do? Recession, roll your fucking sleeves up and get on with it. Yeah. And just had an instant, that was what they call it, a mind change.
Light bulb moment. A light bulb moment?
Light bulb moment. Yeah. And that was it. So the next day I went in, put the low load driver's money up, and one had been with me along and said, why have you done that? It's lovely. Why have you done it? Everybody's on short time or getting sacked. I said, because you cunts are going to get us through this. When you find out everybody else's machines are working, you come back and tell Tony, and we're going to get the work. And that business grew 2.5 times the size in 3 years.
Wow.
And that's just a true story.
Yeah. Because you carried on working.
That's it. Got to keep at it.
Yeah.
Got to keep at it. But you've got to motivate the people. You can't do it on your own.
Don't listen to the news.
They said to me sometimes, stop what you come here early last year. Come here, you're pissing everybody off. You're all down and talking it down. Stop watching the fucking news. Yeah. So I did start watching YouTube. But then, unfortunately, I started watching political things on.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the one good thing in the morning they have, it's live sport or something. And then they've got Jeremy Kyle does it.
Okay.
Talk Sport. It's Talk Sport is on the radio, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then there's Talk TV.
Yeah.
It's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
And of course you can say what wants on there.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Unfiltered news.
Yeah. But that is the problem though with businesses. Look at COVID, for example. We did very well over COVID because we sort of refused to believe it. And we just kept going. We grew.
One of Ben's old man who owns the company, basically rather than going, no, we can't. He went, no, this is our time. Yeah, this is it.
Well, we closed for 3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
On the 24th of March, which was last Tuesday, I think. The day after they shut all the pubs and restaurants, so we got shut. So one of our blokes brings this home, takes it home, somebody dies. Greedy businessman, put money in front of lives. Yeah. And you know what? I saw the picture just now. I said to one of our guys that day, I said, give me a picture of something to make me think what I can put on my LinkedIn page tonight. And he gave me a revolver with 1 bullet, and I'll show it to you. So it must have come up as a thing last Tuesday, 24th. No, I can't speak, can't lie. Anyway, look, he gave me that picture. I sat at home, was depressed, cried in the yard, never cried in my life. Never shut a yard. My dad would turn his grave, broken. Went home, had a few too many G&Ts, and kept looking at this picture. And just like I said, don't send me a list of questions. Ask me what you want. I'm very much like that. So just in tears on my computer, pull that picture up. As a family, we take chances every day. In business, we've now come up with something. We're not prepared to take the chance of the lives and health of our staff, our customers. We're closed until further notice. the plaudits I got, but I didn't ever think about.
Yeah.
Bigger customers. What a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't done for that reason. It was done because we were shit ourselves. Nobody knew what was happening, did they?
No.
When we came back, that's 6 weeks, it was okay. And then all of a sudden, when the government decided the builders' merchants could open up because they're part of construction, it just took off like a scolded cat.
Yeah.
I drove around it during COVID. I know we weren't supposed to go anywhere. And I live, 3.5, 4 miles from here. I didn't see one car.
Yeah.
That's like I've been in a nuclear holocaust.
Yeah.
It was scary.
Yeah.
It was scary.
We had to move.
Not just for me, for everybody.
Yeah.
I was living in East London and we had to move and I had to get to King's Cross so we could move out of London. And it was like a ghost town. Weird.
Oh, it's awful.
Being when are you ever at King's Cross or St Pancras and there's no one there?
Well, that's what I'm driving here. It's quite busy, it's a busy road. The A12 goes through it. And we were lucky, but we didn't lose anybody. But imagine the families that lost people.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
Well, thank you for having us.
All right. No, that's all.
Thank you so
for taking
much.
time to get up early to come come see a miserable old bugger like me.
Yeah.
That's just as well. It's being filmed. I've got a face for radio, as my missus says. What did somebody say to me the other day? You got a dog, you got a face even a dog wouldn't lick. But no, listen.
Yeah.
No, it's been really
These are my viewpoints, not the company's viewpoints.
Yeah.
I have to stress
And that's
that.
just what this is about.
Well, we'll send over a copy. Wait, we'll send over a copy. If there's anything that you think that's too much, we'll
just do it.
I'll be guided by you with that, really.
Yeah.
Young
I don't think
you live in today's
you're
world.
joking.
No,
I'll be guided by you.
We've had some opinionated people on before. We've had all sorts of. I don't really.
No, not at all. No.
Occasionally, I accidentally give out family addresses and. Oh God! What else have I done? Almost got incriminated myself with some while I was driving, and occasionally. So, but no,
no, not at all.
No, I don't remember you saying anything outrageous.
We need to get this. We need to put the brake back in. That's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It's a shit show at the moment.
Yeah.
I know.
It really is. And the more you try and do something right, the more they want to either tax you for it or make it difficult. We've just paid. Every year, my old man said, "Look." We're not, I said to use the expression earlier, it's one of his. We're not oil barons, we're not film stars. He said, you've got to give a bit back. He said, we're rich people, right? So every year, we give about 100 grand away for local charities. Got fed up with national charities. Friend of ours is a knee surgeon. We were at his house for dinner one night, 2015 it was. Yes, it was 2015. Late 14, early 15. And we sat there, and this one was he's a knee, so quite a revered knee surgeon. Anyway, he's going to need your help, guys, right? Okay, what do you want? He said, we need to raise some money. It's a new Macmillan cancer unit at Ipswich Hospital. I said, right. He said, no, I've got all the funding for the build. That's all done. But, to help run it. It's okay. So we'll give a car to be raffled off. He said, it's quick. My dad did it years ago when I was a kid, but now trying to save money, support our scanner, SOS, trying to raise money for a scanner in Ipswich Hospital. Anyway, he phoned me on the Sunday. We'd all had plenty of wine. He said, did you mean what you said? He said, we'd had plenty of wine. So never joke where money's concerned. However pissed I am, I know what I'm saying. Anyway, we all had a good laugh and this and the other, as you do. Anyway, he's lovely. He said, I'll be in touch with you early part of the week. So he said, could you come on Wednesday or Thursday morning at 10 o'clock to meet the chairman of Ipswich and Colchester Hospital or NHS Trust or whatever it is, and the lady who's in charge of Macmillan. Okay, so off we go. And I said to the lady, look, without being cocky, it's easy for me to write a check out. I've got no time. I said, I'm going to give them, we're going to buy a car for you to raffle off. Okay. Anyway, it moved on a bit. Took 3 months to get it through the lottery commission at a certain level. It had to be under £24,872. I swear to God, it was something odd like that. As a private lottery. Swear to God, I'm telling you the truth. Anyway, what can we buy? We bought them for. I'm not buying a crap car. It was an Audi A3 diesel sport. Okay. And lovely. So I said, I'm going to buy a brand new car trailer and we'll have it stick it up and we'll take it round any events around here, try and sell more tickets. So it was launched on our stand at Suffolk show, our county show. And without being cocky about it, got a really good position. We've been in the same place for 30 years, right next to the main ring. There's thousands of people walking past this. So it's going to be launched. So the car's there, loads there for Macmillan. I said, we walk out of there. She's under a little gazebo. I said, walk out in some tickets. No, we can't do that. That's illegal. I said, you what? No, we can't do that. Solicit some tickets. I said, you trying to tell me, you find me a policeman who's going to arrest you for selling pound tickets for a cancer charity to win that fucking car. Anyway, she wouldn't do it. That was that. We took it all around the place, and it ended up raising like 12.5 grand. It was a fucking embarrassment. So I stopped doing it. So then a friend of mine, the lady who I said her daughter's got this cafe, this doesn't make money, great place. She started this thing called G Whiz. She got an MBE for when Bobby Robson of England football manager. He was also Ipswich town manager years ago, and his family, his wife still lives in Ipswich, and he died of throat cancer, poor man. And they were starting this charity in his name, and that was going nowhere. She took over, raised £1.5 million, right, I'll do it with Eugene, no costs. She's doing it herself, very clever woman. Did that for a few years, and the last one we did was that was just before COVID. The last one we did with her just before COVID, a sensory garden for a severely handicapped. This is called in Ipswich, and there's 84 or 5 young kids there. She's got come up and say, Gina, where do I go? I said earlier on, I'm a bit of a wet blanket. Saw these kids. Anyway, I said, I'll give you 100 grand towards it. Well, then, of course, COVID came. It took 3 years to do. What she got charged was too much. And I said, do you know what, we'll do it ourselves. She said, no, I don't blame her. I've had enough of doing it anyway now. So she said, what you can do? I said, you can have a BMX track built in Kelsgrave. I used to live 2 or 3 mile that direction. I now live 3 mile that direction. This is my life around here. Went to the local councillor, great, I mentioned earlier on, great woman. Everything's for around here. Oh, so that's lovely. Anyway, I identified an area, a nice private housing stay over there. This waste ground, they do park runs on it, owned by the council, lovely community centre there. Took 4 years to get planning permission.
Oh.
Right? So it's nearly done now. It's just over the other side of the road down there. Put the fence around it as we speak. And a company from Derbyshire come to C&K Contractors. That's all they do. They go all over the country building BMX tracks and pump tracks. All asphalt, done properly. It's cost 50% more than it would have done 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Thereabouts, as you'd expect. And do you know what, even people have moaned about that. I expect this is to help you get planning permission for a quarry you put an application in for.
You can't.
So if you had any brains, you'd notice, you would do your homework. We put this application in 4 years before we even thought about this quarry.
Exactly.
So there's always some, you can't do anything. You're not allowed to do anything nice in this country. No, that's pissed me off a bit.
Yeah, people will think you're only doing something nice because what do you want from it?
Game. Yeah. And it's not about that at all, far from it. The other thing, this woman who was bloody useless on this Macmillan thing, they made her a director.
Great.
Honestly, it was a joke. Absolute joke.
But you know what we're saying about public sector and charitable organisations? They don't have the best of people running it.
Another gravy train. I think when you're getting paid a lot of money, we bought a Union Jack JCB years ago, 2010 or 11. JCB had it painted up with Union Jack, and that was being auctioned off for Help for Heroes. Mm-hmm. So I showed my wife one night. She said, well, I hope you're going to buy that. Her sister's got 4 boys. One's in Afghanistan. I don't know how many times, still going backwards and forwards all over, still in the army now. 24 years he's been in. Lovely young fella. And I said, I'm going to fucking buy that. I'll cut 100 grand for that. Anyway, I think we gave 70,250 quid for it. I had to go up to the factory, Mr. JCB, to give me the keys, a chap who's in charge of Help for Heroes to give him the David Brent big check, like he had in the office. I've still got the check in my thing and still got the machine. Anyway, got home that night and I said to my missus, I bet he's a lovely old boy. We need help for Heroes, man. I said, he's the biggest prick I've ever met. He thinks he's a fucking film star. I'm being helicoptered down to County Hall in London. I'm giving a guest speech tonight. I'm a guest speaker. What a twat. And then you look at the money they waste and the wages he was on at the end of it. If you're earning a charity, you might as well nick a penny pot off a fucking chip shop counter in my book.
Yeah, in broad daylight.
Disgusting.
In broad daylight,
In broad daylight.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
But that's how it's set up, isn't it? And then last year, 18 months ago, coming up for 2 years ago, a lady who finds a better property, said, got a builder I'd like to show you an office box. We don't normally buy yards. Now, I think you quite like this one. It's quite near. It was the R&L building.
Yeah.
Lightboat building. It's all right. What they selling that for? I'm very old. Well, it's 16 years old now. We had machines working on it. A mate of mine did a brickwork on it. Anyway, got there and this chap showed us round. Oh, hello, Guy. How are you? Oh, hello, mate. How are you? Oh, I know, but he's one of these people you see, but I didn't know, not being disrespectful about the man. And he showed us round. Oh, this is small, mate. I said, how many people are supposed to work in this? Well, it was built for 75, 80 people to work in. Lovely 2-story brick office block. Anyway, right, how many work now? Oh, 3 since COVID. Oh, and they had this new air exchange unit put in. God knows what that cost. Changed the air in the building, in the rooms every 4 times an hour because it's airborne, just what they were supposed to be. Anyway, I've got a picture I'm going to show you. And they had a little single-story workshop at one end where they serviced outboard motors, like a little workshop underneath all these things. There's mess rooms everywhere, lifts. You'll never see anything like this building. God knows what it costs to build today. And at the end of it, I'm like an old jackdaw. There's always something in the deal that can just sweeten up. There's a little Jan Heinrich 2.5 ton electric forklift at the end. All the walkways, all properly, with a little yellow line around it, its own little parking bay. Anyway, I walked over and looked at it. It's still got little mould and tits on the tyres.
Yeah.
It had never been used. I looked on a plate, it's 10 years old. So anyway, they wanted 1.3 million. I said, I'll give $1 million a quarter, but I want the forklift.
Yeah.
Anyway, she came back, she said, I won't accept that. And the forklift doesn't belong to them, that's on lease. So it's been on lease for 10 years, never been fucking used.
Oh my God, that's horrendous.
Anyway, they came back on the money, we'll accept your money. But they need the money. So why do they need the money? Well, everybody stopped giving them money to them because the first thing you see on the news is them pulling these illegal immigrants out of the channel, isn't it?
Yeah.
So fair enough. Anyway, I said, Jay, come and have a look. Oh, Dad, I'm busy. Just come and have a look. Anyway, he came up with me, and I said, there's this 6-wheel MAN drop side truck with the biggest hire you could put on a 6-wheel truck. I said, I've got £1,000 says that's never been used. He said, you know, so you can't have a look at the hook. And I hadn't seen it. The paint was still on the hook.
Wow.
The truck's 4 years old.
Oh my God.
Bollocks.
It sums it up. Really.
Wasting other people's, easy spending other people's money.
Yep.
That's it.
Which is why we did this BMX thing.
That's the country.
Well, for all the negative thing, I'm still glad we've done it.
Yeah.
The chap who's putting a fence around it phoned me this morning, and he said, "Do you know what?" He said, "Oh, my bloke said 2 kids here just bought those. They were packing up at 5 o'clock yesterday. That's what your bloke's doing, leaving off at 5 o'clock." Anyway, he said, "Can we have a case?" No, it's not open yet. And these 2 kids, he said, I didn't say oh no. He said, we've got 8 quid between us. If we give you that, can we ever go on the track? How cool is that? So hopefully the kids will enjoy it, and that'll keep them off computers. And
you want a little plaque there, built by.
Yeah. But then somebody will piss on Irish people on you. There you go.
You'll do an intro.
The negativity actually motivates me. It always has done in business.
Yeah.
You know, it's all right for you, it's all right for me. Yeah, I'll get up and do a fucking day's work.
Yeah.
You've got the same option. Well, Joe was a schoolboy motocross, and on a Thursday, a track called Mildenhall, was about 50 miles from here. His mother had taken there and said, well, where's Guy? Well, he's at work. I never went any of those days. When she first had the phone, how's he getting on? She said, stop fucking phoning me. So I'm not there, am I? I'm worried to death because he's riding a bloody motorbike. But fortunately, he stopped doing that at the moment.
Yeah.
But, he's what he is. Shame he's not here today. He's gone to America.
Yeah, he's gone on holiday.
Yeah, he's actually on holiday. Yeah, his wife's over there. She went last week and he's gone over there for a few days. But he deserves that. Yeah. He came home for a meal hours Monday night while she was away. Fuck me, he didn't stop. He didn't get it till 7 o'clock. Came straight to me because I can see him on the cameras. Where are you now? I know he's still here, so I'm looking at the cameras. His defender's part out there. And then while he's there, the phone's going all the time, which I went through that, but we had a bit more reward when I was his age.
Yeah, of course.
So there's a lot of effort for a small reward. But hopefully the better days will come. That's what we all hope for.
That's all we could do. Just keep working.
Yeah, keep at it. Keep at it. And hopefully that'll turn and we can, a bit more common sense will come into it and we'll earn some money. Not about raping anybody and, seeing how much you can earn, but earn a reasonable return for the effort and the money you've got invested. And the same with farmers. That's a disgrace, like I said earlier, building fucking solar panels, putting solar panels all over some of the best farmland in this country. And then we go and import potatoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
What a joke.
Yeah.
But it makes you look good in Westminster.
So they say. If you've enjoyed this episode with Guy, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe and let us know who you want on Talkin Shop next.